Damn. Alright. Man.
My fiance told.
Okay. Alright. We gotta put this in the chat. The end nears, that's right. The end does near, and hopefully I don't. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it today. What's up, Drake? What's up, Drake? How are you doing? Put these here. And let me type in the Discord server. At everyone. Lapis pings. Ooh. Come on. Okay, there we go. At everyone. I'm live. We're almost done with Bland. Good. Shift is nearly done, then 4 days off. Nice, man. Hey, a 4-day weekend? Well, I guess weekday, but hey, that's lovely, dude. Shit. 4 days off. That means you go back on Saturday. Oh, that's so good. What's up, Memento Mori? What's up? Hey, alright. When was the last time I read something? Oh, that's right, this chapter. How could I forget it? Hey, what's up, Aster? Why don't you like Bleach? It's not that great of a story. Many of the characters genuinely do not matter. Kubo does not know how to make me care about someone because if if a cool character design, they likely won't actually amount to anything. They're just fodder. The villains don't really have a reason to do what they do. I could like just start listing off stuff, dude. I can keep going on. Still no short on Emu. That's right. Fuck, I keep forgetting. That was like from like what, 2 streams ago? That was from like, I have to find the clip. As a matter of fact, if Memento, if you remember what stream I did it on, if you could like just timestamp in like the comment section what was the time, I can probably put out a short tomorrow. I can get that done relatively quickly. Okay. We're good here. You should make a whole rant video about the series. I am, actually, Brandy. I am. As soon as I am done reading through this, heaping bowl of dog water, of hot, boiling dog water. Once I'm done with that, I'll probably write up a review of the series, just a little bit of a rant, go into the good things, go into the bad things, and really the few good things, mostly the bad things, and then I'll probably just talk about why I'm not going to scale it. Finding out you don't like Bleach was like finding out Santa wasn't real. I could probably understand where that comes from. I don't know. That kind of falls more on the creator of the series than me, because I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of the things that I've been pointing out about the series overhaul are like just issues that I'm just like nitpicking at. Second last stream, what you want the moment you talk about this. What you want the moment you talk about this. Already made R9 and already made a video on Getsugo shit show. R9? R9N? What the fuck? I meant Eon. Okay, I was about to say, who the fuck is R9N? I was about to just check out the video real quick. Alright, no, it's all good. The craziest diet on TikTok? I'll watch this for later. Okay, we're back to this. I see. I survived the blast, but it took my legs. Now this is a problem. Doesn't this put me in the same position as Araki then? I thought you would have turned tail by now, 11th Division. A group of fools beyond imagination, indeed. Well, I guess I should thank you for not getting in my way during battle. Listen, below the rubble on the right, about 30 steps from here, are two body containers that Nemu brought along with her. All you have to do is press the red button on the right and it'll open. So go along with them, and you'll be good to go. It took me some time, but I've de-zombified them. I've made my life cut down by a... I've had my life cut down by a bit, but I won't complain. He did save my life after all. How many times am I gonna see Shitsugaya and Rangiku? How many times am I gonna see them, like, get shut down just for them to come back? Jesus Christ. Toshiro Hitsugaya, 007, 0 good fights, 0 examples of his potential actually making him captain level, 7 times that he got taken down by an enemy. Let me close this up just right. Aren't Shinigamis immortal? Why life has been drained? No, they're not inherently immortal. They just have extremely long lifespans. How do you reverse a dead soul? Ask that to Kubo, man. Apparently, if you say that Bleach characters aren't just living embodiments of souls without bodies, then it just makes absolutely no sense. But if you think that Shinigamis are like souls, but the souls also have blood and organs and all that stuff, and they don't just inherently attack the soul, then it probably makes a lot more sense. Dies, brought back as a zombie, de-zombified, now just back to normal. Yeah, thank you. So put me and Zaraki as well as, I guess, in the empty container, if you may. We'll see you soon, Captain Zaraki. Isn't it crazy to think that Ikaku Madarame and What's-His-Face over here are the type of dudes that, you know, they're seen as, like, powerful combatants even by, like, the Soul Society. I don't even want to say, like, powerful combatants by Soul Society standards because they're not captain level. And yet, their entire existence within the context of the 1,000-Year Blood War is essentially as glorified messengers to put Zaraki in a fucking tube. Also, the sushi was really good. Thank you for asking. Actually, how did that go? How did that go? Guess the answer is soul science. It is soul science. It's always been soul science, of course. It's the most advanced form of technology. This seems like it would contaminate the brain. That's your daughter. Why is she naked? Today seems to be a day for a deluge of inundation of gratitude. My, what a sickening feeling. But all of that pales in comparison. Transformation, evolution. At long last, the Konpaku I developed from rudimentary scraps has evolved on its own accord. I finally stepped out of your shadow, Urahara Kisuke. For the life of me, I can't quite picture the anguished look on your face when you learn of my feat. But that will make a moment all the more sweeter when I see it in person. So when next we meet, I'll show you the real gap between you and me. This is just weird. Kubo should have been a doujin mangaka. He doesn't need plot. All he needs to draw, which he does well. That's what I agree. Listen, man. I 100% agree. He would have been really good at drawing doujin manga. It was a sushi buffet. It was a shushi. A shushi buffet. So I was full by the second plate. The owner was pretty nice. He gifted me a box of sushi. Oh, that's so sweet, Astor. I'm glad that happened, man. I'm glad. It's Captain Kurotsuchi, isn't it? Yeah. Well, hey, what's up, Red Up? If you still care, you talk about this in 5 hours, 51 minutes, 39 seconds, and your last Bleach reading stream, so pretty much at the end. Okay, so that was like Friday's stream. Thank you. Let me timestamp this on my phone. Let me write that time down on my phone, and I'll hopefully have it out by tomorrow. Where is it? Right here. Let me put Friday stream 5:51 39 5:39 turn to short. Okay, got it. You should read Zombie Powder instead. What's Zombie Powder? Bleach would have been better as a hentai. I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Bleach probably would have been much better as hentai. You already got the female character designs. Kubo knows how to draw big tits. She looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. His female design has always been great. Yeah, no, he should have just drawn hentai. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why would I? Bleach would have been better as a hentai. It could have been all about souls and shit like that, and the whole plot of the series was that the Shinigami can suck the soul out of you. Both the guys and the chicks, why not, right? It's 2025. We're progressive. Why not? Shit. I mean, Shunsui essentially looks like an 80s corn star. He's already got the hairy chest and the beard and everything, the long hair. Yeah, he could have worked. And also good head, yeah. So how do we know he didn't make any? I don't know, man. You probably have to find it somewhere. Many mangakas did it before they had their series, really. That's interesting. It's Captain Kuratsuchi, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's him we're talking about, so he'll probably be fine. You're right. The bigger issue we have, though... Okay, I already downloaded this. Are those Reiatsu tremors I'm sensing that are moving further and further away, along with the Reiatsu surrounding it that are beginning to decrease? Have all the vice captains been defeated? Ruki and I are still good to go, along with Hinamori. Nanao-chan is still here as well. Ain't this a bitch? We don't know where he's aiming from or who he's aiming at, but if we slow down, we're playing right into the enemy's hands. Yeah. How are the Clorox? The Clorox are terrible. I hate everything about them. The series is terrible. The series, I don't like the series at all. I genuinely have a hard time finding things to, like, talk kindly about or remotely respect besides the art style. It's terrifying, isn't it? Yes, it must be, I suppose. Having no idea where I'm aiming from, as your opponent snipes you from afar, watching your comrades fall one by one, it's only natural to become overwhelmed by terror in a situation like that. I have a question about the x-axis. Let me look up the x-axis real quick. Lily Barrow Bleach. Let's look at Lily Barrow. I need to read up on the x-axis real quick. Because from a distance, right? Let me see. Regardless of his intangibility, okay? Don't shoot me down. There we go. Lily's Shrift allows him to fire shots with his rifle that uniformly pierce all things in his sight. Rather than releasing physical bullets, the X-axis manifests an intangible force that puts perfectly round holes into a target Lily aims at, plus anything along a straight line in between said target and the muzzle. So it's not a guaranteed shot. If you can just dodge the bullet, each shot reaches the target instantly and cannot be blocked no matter how many defenses are put up. Okay, as evidence when Lily shot through 2 royal guards on Pogto to hit the target, they were shielding without the trouble, hence why Lily boasted that the very concept of dodging loses meaning before his powers. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay. Where are they getting shot from? But it never showed that he shot them in the first place. If he was shooting at them, if they know that they're being shot at and he's shooting at them, doesn't that mean that he would then land those shots guaranteed every single time? We gotta do something. We've made countless sacrifices and still don't have a faintest idea of who our enemy is or where they are. If there were a person devoid of those fears in this group, so for the next shot, someone's gonna have to risk becoming the human piñata if they want any hope in turning the situation in our favor. Then either a lunatic or an idiot or both. Dumbass, I told you, if you stop, you'll be playing exactly into their hands. Found ya. No matter the level of discipline or how perfectly regimented a group may be, all it takes is the actions of one idiot to bring about their downfall. I've seen countless groups like this, and to think I'd actually help you Shinigami to have a higher standard. When the buff breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby cradle and all. There we go. He has to aim. Hence why Kubo should have drawn 18 plus, Rule 34. That's funny. Eon Bleach or Mushoku Tensei or Mushoku Tensei. Jobless Reincarnation. Is this? I don't know. I guess this series. I haven't checked it out, so I don't know if my opinion necessarily matters. Oh, it's Sweet Home Alabama? Ew. I don't know then. Also, a lot of backgrounds I've noticed just have theories, striped running backgrounds quite often in this arc. How are the slaves doing? What slaves? The Celestial Dragon slaves? I don't know, man. I'm not one of them. Insane ball knowledge about the guy who made Pokemon. The manga made Futa Corn, really. And does it surprise you that the maker of Food Wars did as well? That doesn't surprise me at all. The Food Wars stuff genuinely is just straight up corn. Now that's an impressive dodge. You're pretty quick. I've taken out your weapon. Next will be your life. What's going on? From such a great distance. Yep. Come ahead, Draker, then Guts and Berserk. What's going on? From such a great distance, there's no way I gave myself away. And how was he able to get around to my back in an instant? Huh? Don't tell me you never played Daruma-san Fell Over. What the hell are you... What the hell? Fell Over? I'll take that as a no. Well, being who you are, I guess it only makes sense that you were raised in a different culture from us. Anyway, that aside... For you to be able to follow me all the way out here, your skills have improved quite a bit, Nanao-chan. That doesn't exactly feel like a compliment right now. I am. Like you're complimenting me right now. However, this one's going to be a handful, so do put my mind to rest and return to the group. Not happening. Glad we're on the same page in that case. Inform the others that we'll be going on ahead. Fine, I'll relate the message a bit quick right away, Captain. If you kick the bucket before I get back, I'll shave your chest hair of your lifeless corpse. That's cruel. We're talking about my defining characteristic. I don't know about that. Jeez. The things that come out of her mouth, she's really starting to remind me of Risa-chan. Are we done with the chit-chat? Jeez, no need to be so rude. We have to gather intel on all of you from all of our previous battles. Your Zanpakuto's abilities to turn children's game into reality. I take it that's what you just showed me right now? Cool. So you managed to pry all the way into happenings of the Spirit King's castles. Quite well informed, aren't you? Although it only makes sense that Quincy wouldn't have either played Daruma-san Fell Over, and Daruma-san Fell Over, whoever's it closes their eyes and calls out a phrase repeatedly. The ultimate goal of the game is for him to try and catch the people that are still moving. There are 3 rules. First, whoever's it must be in a place where they can be seen by all other players. Second, if the player are seen by moving whoever's it when they lose. Lastly, if the players can touch whoever's it before they are seen, they win. I see. So it's chocolate Ingles. Chocolate Ingles? Chocolate Ingles? Alright. Oh, you've got a name like this then? So that's what's that's like. In order for you to start the game, you must be able to see the Reiatsu being released from its attack. Then, in order to touch the person who's been it before being seen, you become able to move on the trajectory towards its Reiatsu, traveling across the shortest distance possible. During that time, whoever it sees only an illusion of you standing still. Does that sound about right? Most of these rules make everything very convenient for you. If you're seen moving, you lose. That must mean if I at any time realize the illusion and see through it, you will die. Well, I'm glad you're quick on the uptake. It saves me the trouble. Saves you the trouble? Telling me the rules of this is a mistake, is it not? Now you won't be able to use this game anymore. Not at all. It's only when we both know the rules that one can call it a game, wouldn't you agree? Ah, by the way, I hate to nitpick, but there's one thing you misunderstood. The version of me, what you saw moving really wasn't an illusion. You were in fact seeing the real me, in all my glory. What? Yeah, it's red light, green light, kind of. So many chapters for this story to end, yeah. Am I the only one who was extremely confused by the rules? No, you were not confused. I didn't understand what the fuck they were talking about at all. It's very confusing. I did not understand what the fuck the rules are to this game at all. They make no sense. The senses by which you feel and pick up Reiatsu on are known as Reikaku or Reiatsu Chikaku. And it doesn't help the fact that Kubo also uses these fucking words too, which makes it just all the more difficult to properly comprehend what the fuck they're talking about. I still don't really understand the difference between Reishi and Reiatsu. Every person that has Reiatsu subconsciously uses both their sense of vision and their Reikaku at the same time in order to see. And when concentrating in the midst of battle, Reikaku takes over an overwhelming amount of perception. In other words, your subconscious begins to stop seeing with your eyes. So back there, you mistook my Reiatsu for me. I consolidated it together, hardened it, and left it there just for you. Cut the bullshit. There's no way just by doing that I'd mistake it for you. Oh, but you would. You'd be wise to remember who it is you're talking to. I am the commander of the 13 Court Guard squads, Kyoraku Shunsui. Then he breaks the nozzle. Yeah, he breaks the muzzle. Daruma-san fell over here. I told you can't use that game anymore. He pops up out of the shadows. He shoots the shadow. That's why I call reaction. This is the first time anyone's been able to dodge an attack from Kageoni on the first shot. Don't make me repeat myself. We have all the intel on every single one of your battles up until now, while... Ooh. None of you have any intel on us. Oh, and here I thought I dodged it. It's got to give me something here. It wouldn't be fair if you didn't at least share a little bit. Who said anything about fighting fairly? Although I don't think telling you the basics will put me at a disadvantage, so be it. Sternritter? That's so stupid. Why would you still say it, though? You're like, okay, it doesn't matter. I'll still tell you. Like, okay. Reiatsu spiritual matter, Reiatsu spiritual patter. It still sounds stupid. It's still stupid. You'll finna see Kubo on that time crunch. Y'all finna see Kubo on that time crunch. I've been seeing Kubo on the time crunch for I don't even know at what point the time crunch starts up, but I can promise you the time crunch is not the reason why I don't like the series. It's Kubo's lack of making me want to care about these characters. He really does not know how to make you care. So many characters in this series. If you genuinely sit here and tell me that a person who has no investment in this series because of the writing and the poor character decisions and the execution, you genuinely have to be someone who... You genuinely do have to be someone who, legitimately loves this series to the point where you just genuinely want to look past all of this stuff. Otherwise, you're going to call it out for what it is, and it's all crap. Where is the time crunch? Where does the time crunch start? At what point did Actually, let me look that up. At what point did Kubo have to... At what point was Tite Kubo put in a time crunch to finish Bleach? Is there anything? What chapter did Kubo force to rush through Bleach? If we assume that Kubo made an accurate assessment of his time remaining when he was talking to Narita, it was a year or two before the ending. Okay. Face a time crush to finish Bleach in the series, 1,000-Year Blood War arc. I remember before reading, a lot of people said that the ending had bad taste in people's mouth because Kubo had to rush it. Where exactly was it rushed? I personally felt that the pace was good and I still enjoyed it all. So fans were angry at it. There was no real clinching chapter where the rest was absolutely rushed. Just drop plot lines here and there, just such as Ryuken, I imagine, Reizuken, and Ishin, Gerard, and to a lesser extent Lily Bar as well. What do you mean there was no clinching chapter? Yeah, they mean there wasn't a chapter you can go and point to Kubo rushing because of his health. I could have started with the second invasion, could have started with the Auswellen. That's how he's pronounced it. Auswellen. It could have been with the Shinigami, went to the Royal Realm. He could have started in the fight. There's no way to really tell it was Russian. We assumed that Kubo had an accurate assessment of his time. It would have been a year. Narita, time frame, he initially thought he was joking. So then about the time of the second invasion, which I think lines up with how the invasion went. First invasion was done beautifully. I still enjoyed the second one. But the first one had my heart beating fast through it. Yeah. The final arc is 208 chapters. Time crunch my ass. He's just a shit writer. Maybe if you don't like rushed products so much, the 1,000-Year Blood War anime, because Kubo actually has the time. The 1,000-Year Blood War does not fix a lot of the issues that I have, because a lot of the issues that I have are still explained in the novels. Trust me when I say the anime is not going to make me fix it, because I did actually watch a good portion of Core 1 and 2. I remember watching all of Ichiko's mom's flashback and all the other crap right afterwards, including Ichigo getting his 2 Zanpakuto. It doesn't really fix a lot of my issues. We'll see when I get through it. The conflict was sometime a blood war in the fake town. Stubborn in his decision, and his editor had very little decision power, essentially the opposite of Kishimoto and his editors. How the fuck do I have an ad during a live stream? I don't know, man. Probably because the stream is monetized. Some of these comments are overly dramatic for even a fan. How's it going? I'm going good, One Smart. I hope you're doing good too, man. Heart beating fast. Maybe it's because you weighed 600 pounds and need to... Oh, come on. That's not fair, man. We don't know that. That's not fair, Lapis. With a power such as this, the very concept of dodging has no meaning. You seem quite fond of my shadows, no? You got that look of how did he dodge it all over your face. Don't strain yourself. Just as you said, there's no way I could dodge it. What you fired was simply at an afterimage. That is called Kage Okuri. A game where by staring hard enough at your shadow, you can project an afterimage onto a different location. If someone with as much Reikaku as you is looking, then an extremely lifelike afterimage would be left behind. The most frightening part of children's play is when they decide on a whim what to do play next. You'd have to be a mind reader to know what was coming next. No matter what fun or pleasure they bring, once they take a hold of your hand, that's the end. You're going to suck you in hell and they're going to suck you in come hell or high water. Since I've already gotten a hold of your hand, you may as well play until one of us drops. Shunsui has very confusing abilities. Listen, I get the bad reviews people give, more reviews. You don't have to over-exaggerate how bad it is because, believe it or not, it's not that bad. No, it really is that bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it anymore. I don't think Bleach is good. I think the parts of Bleach that are okay at best. I think that where Bleach really shines, just comes from the art style, but the rest really just isn't all that great. There's so much here that just legitimately does not matter. When you read a series like One Piece, when you read a series like Black Clover, when you read a series like JJK, and JJK, maybe you don't even have to really throw it in there, but when you read series where a lot of the plot points that they bring up end up mattering towards the end, where a lot of little things brought into the story aren't just one-off gags or end up not mattering in the long run and end up just not being a little tidbit of world building, but actually a plot relevant thread that one originally thought was world building. When you get all of those things and then you come back to a series like Bleach over a decade after it's finished, you really come and realize, wow, this is just okay at best if I'm being as kind as I can be. Bleach is better than Black Clover. I don't think we can agree on that. We're just not. You can believe that. That's completely fine. I cannot agree to that. I genuinely cannot agree to that. That's one of my personal problems with some of the bankais and other gimmicky techniques. They feel more complicated than they have to be. Shunsui is an example of that. Yeah, with Shunsui, it feels like my powers, I understand. I get that. I understand the concept of Kage Oni and Taka Oni, right? Stepping on your opponent's shadow. If your opponent steps on your shadow, then you take damage. Whoever is above will be the winner or whatever, right? I get that, but when you get into games of your Reikaku is focusing too much on me and creates an afterimage and blah 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 blah, and I'm also attacking you from the shadows. It feels more convoluted than a JoJo ability, and that comes from somebody who has read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure multiple times at this point. With JoJo's, it's complicated, but once it's explained, it makes perfect sense, and it also isn't hard to follow, right? By the way, Six, thank you so much for the 12 months. It's finally been a year. Finally got a year. When you're finished with Bleach, what are you going to scale? Cough, cough, Black Clover. By the way, you should get the Marlon cut. Eon with the Marlon cut. Let's check it out. Fuck no, I'm not getting the Marlon cut. This is just a Caesar. This is just a fucking Caesar with a light fade. This is just a Caesar with a light fade, and I hate this haircut. I haven't had a shape up on my front. I guess you could say my front. I guess what would you call it? The front line of my hair. I've told barbers for years, do not touch this. I do not want this. I hate this fucking haircut, dude. It's such a cookie cutter ass haircut, especially where I live. It's such a cookie cutter ass haircut, man. Bleach is not better than Black Clover, yeah. It's not. If you think it's better than Black Clover, that's completely fine by me. It sounds like your biggest hangup is that Bleach is stuck between a JoJo and Dragon Ball technique set, which makes it feel off. That's part of my issues, too, actually. I think you actually summed it up very well. It's like Bleach wants to be... listen, I think that a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I do believe... You mean Wonder of You, King Crimson, and Soft and Wet's dumb ability that nobody gets? No, they're kind of understandable once you understand the concept of them. King Crimson skips ahead 10 seconds into the future. It erases, it essentially uses the concept of cause and effect. It removes the cause, leaving only the effect. There is no cause, only the effect. So time is inherently, in and of itself, skipped. Nobody remembers it, only Diablo. And he has Epitaph, which allows him to see moments ahead into the future. I can't tell you about Soft and Wet Go Beyond because I haven't read up to that portion of Part 8. I didn't really care for it. But I can tell you that Wonder of You actually works with the Calamity. Once you understand what the point of the Calamity is and what the trigger is for it, it's actually quite easy to understand what it is. Now, maybe a lot of people maybe a lot of people wouldn't agree with me on this, but let's actually talk about... Bleach in terms of the way that it tries to present a power system, but not so much a power system, and the way that like Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece each try to work off of as series that were designed or were not designed but inspired by Oda. Random nonsense to talk about with chat. That's what I was looking for. Here, let me explain. So you have 3 series. Okay, so you have the big 3, right? The big 3 are inspired by Dragon Ball, right? Now, in my opinion, Bleach is the closest to Dragon Ball in terms of power system and combat. What do I mean by this, though, right? What do I mean by this? Many of Bleach's battles can be actually split up into 2 different fields, right? Into 2 categories. Exposition dumps, hacks, filled exposition dumps, and Unga Bunga Sword Go Bleach's battles can be split up into 2. Now, there's a reason why I say it's the closest to Dragon Ball. With Dragon Ball, you have a power system. Both Bleach and Dragon Ball actually have power systems. DB have a power system that is essentially derived around using energy to power oneself up. Naruto and One Piece do this as well, but the difference between Bleach and these other series is that Bleach is the closest towards Dragon Ball in the sense that the stronger you are, use the concept, the stronger you are, the less effective the opponent is, right? This is by far and away the craziest concept about Bleach when it comes to its power scaling, right? Ian, I need your help. I need to breathe, but as a Naruto fan, I can only downplay Bleach because I know it's better than Naruto. What do I do? Well, if you're a Naruto fan that understands that Bleach as a masterpiece is only something that those who have 500 IQs who play 5D chess can truly and full-heartedly comprehend, since going through the series and then looking back at it, you see all of the tidbits that Kubo comes out of. The best you can do in this case, Aster, is go into the Bleach subreddit, post all about why Naruto is the better series, then go into the Naruto subreddit and tell everyone that Naruto is the best series in the big three. And then if you really, 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 really feel like you're not going to be able to breathe until you are capable of creating the most disingenuous claims about Bleach and why Naruto just surpasses it as a whole, then make a YouTube video where you don't actually provide any evidence or context for any of your points and just bring up an entirely subjective claim that ultimately you will have floods and floods and floods of also disingenuous Naruto fans come in there and agree with you. That's the best thing you can do, honestly. I do agree. Well, how have you been, Skull? It's been a minute, man. It's been a hot minute. Hope you're doing good, man. Now, this concept right here, going back to this, it creates an issue, right? This creates an issue. An issue with hacks-filled exposition dumps. Why? In a series like Bleach, where you have so many overpowered abilities like Yamamoto's Bankai, Aizen's Shikai, Yuhabaha's Almighty, like at least a quarter of the fucking Sternritter's Shrifts, so on and so forth, it creates a bit of an issue where characters... Here's a bit of an issue, because characters can lose not because of an interesting or creative, not because of an interesting or creative tactic used by the opponent, but can lose not but by a Unga Bunga sword slash. These are two completely different concepts that don't inherently mix well in together, in my opinion, unless you're able to somehow establish a reason as to why characters are able to surpass the quote-unquote hacks without it either being a plot-related reason within the verse, let's say probably a capacity of the power system, in this case, let's say Devil Fruits versus Haki, or... One Piece actually does this as well, where you can technically ignore hacks by having strong Haki, but the difference has to be extremely massive. Kenpachi's point of view, he's the only Bunga Bunga. Ichigo's also Unga Bunga. Ichigo's Unga Bunga. Kenpachi's Unga Bunga. You can technically say that Toshiro Hitsugaya's Unga Bunga. Ocean for Dragon Ball, sure, strength trumps over hacks, but there's strategy and teamwork. When the fuck does strategy and teamwork really come into Dragon Ball? Like, besides somebody else jumping in to, like, kind of hold off the guy, there's really no teamwork really being made. As a matter of fact, teamwork is kind of the antithesis to most of Dragon Ball because, and you can disagree with me all you want, it's completely true. Teamwork in many cases is the antithesis to Dragon Ball, or at least Saiyan's own biology. Like, they do not want to work together. That's why you see Goku jump in, then Vegeta jump in, and that's why they're always playing rock, paper, scissors. You could say that teamwork is a thing because they do things like the fusion dance, but that's kind of a thing that they only really do as like a last resort when nothing else will really get them to W. I don't agree with that, Six. I definitely don't agree. Dragon Ball is 100% Unga Bunga. Yeah, you could say there's, like, Z did have some moments where strategy did come into play, like when Goku was trying to use a teleporting Kamehameha to blast Cell so he doesn't destroy the planet, but that's also not, like, very, at least, again, by modern day standards, that's, once again, not a very interesting use of your abilities. You just teleport, shoot up. Yeah, by Goku's standards, I guess that's very impressive, but I don't know, man. The only brain power I remember in DB was the underwater ki blast thing. You can also say that, like, Goku has high IQ when he figured out how to stop hits thing, but, and again, that's a bit of strategy, but it's really just, I just have to think where my opponent's going to strike me next and then just react accordingly. That, again, by modern day shonen, it's not really all that interesting. By Dragon Ball standards, sure, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You're just focusing on the two main characters, ignoring the moments where they work together. The Tournament of Power is a great example of strategy and teamwork. What was the strategy and teamwork? What was strategy and teamwork? Because you are being disingenuous at that point. The Tournament of Power strategy and teamwork was literally Gohan, one of the top... Gohan and what was it? Supreme Kai literally saying, and I remember this very vividly. I remember this point very vividly a while back because I was talking with my friends at the time that the Tournament of Power came out, where their literal plan was, let's stick together at the center of the Tournament of Power, and then as soon as they all spawned in and were allowed to fight, they all just went their separate ways. I can agree with you in certain moments, like for example, Gohan and Piccolo quote-unquote working together, but that's not really strategy at that point, because they kind of still fought their own enemies each separately. There's also the example of like, well, when they fought Aniraza, the giant opponent, but, I mean, like, one big enemy that they all kind of had to jump together to fight. I don't really see that as like strategy or teamwork that like is an example of great Dragon Ball shit when it's really like just one fight within the entirety of the Tournament of Power. You could also maybe say Frieza and Dispo. Actually, I will give you Frieza and Gohan kind of working together to take out Dispo by creating like the cage of energy beams. But like, yeah. Like, that's probably, like, the best example I can give you, right? Actually, no, I'm being disingenuous. No, sorry, 6. I'm not gonna call you disingenuous. I'm gonna be disingenuous because I will actually give you the last fight against Jiren. That was a good example of teamwork, but, like, again, these are very spread out moments compared to the entirety. I remember Krillin used a good bit of strategy. Him and Roshi were going crazy in the manga, apparently. That's fair. Yeah, and off topic, but what do you want to do? What would you change in One Piece if it had a great dub in the early 2000s alongside Naruto? I just wouldn't have had the 4Kids animation do its thing, because the 4Kids animation, especially with trying to like censor the guns and stuff, really fucked up One Piece for a lot of people, including myself. I remember never going back into it. We're together also 18 and Krillin? Yeah, but like their teamwork really just amounts to I'll hold them off while you get the shot in from the back or something. It's like, come on now. Are we really going to say that like that's top tier teamwork right there? Like as far as Dragon Ball goes, I don't know, man. A good example is Goku, Frieza, and 17. That's what I meant. Yeah. Drake, you're bringing the example that I brought before towards the end against Jiren. Yes. That actually, I will say, I'll take it back. That I will say is a good example of teamwork. I mean, Goku uses interesting strategies in every single one of his fights. What interesting strategy does he really use against Kid Buu or Majin Buu? He goes Super Saiyan 3, he punches him in his head, and he uses him like a paddle ball. That's kind of it. Against Kid Buu, I guess he bites him. I don't know, man. I think that's mostly nostalgia talk, and I really don't know about interesting strategies that they really use in Dragon Ball. They really don't. Especially by, like, modern standards, they really don't. Like, it's one of those cases where, like, you can only really say it's kind of interesting from the time that it came out, and then even then, like, I don't care about when it came out, and I'm comparing it to shit from now. By the way, the One Piece anime director just passed away. Ripped. Oh, that's unfortunate. Rip. Without 4Kids, we wouldn't have had the spring-loaded hammer. The example kind of nitpicky since he's using Super Saiyan 3. I mean, I'll get... What example did he use against Cell? I'll give you the warp Kamehameha to shoot it up, but I mean, like... That as a strategy, it's less strategy, more so I'm just not blowing up the damn planet. What about Frieza? I can give you the... with Frieza, I can 100% give you the underwater ki blasts. I can give you that. But that's kind of it. Like, oh man, Goku shot up some ki blasts in underwater so Frieza isn't able to sense him or anything. Like, that's amazing strategy? That's interesting strategy? Not really. I wouldn't agree with that. Anyway, let me get back to mid. In DBZ, it's normally one side. It's normally side characters, but overall there isn't much to it. It isn't a bad thing. It's just a product of time. Yeah, I hate the. Oh, you just have nostalgia. I watched Dragon Ball. Oh, you watched it very recently. Fair enough then. I forget. You're 17, dude. Yeah. For a lot of people, though, it really is nostalgia. Though I'm not gonna sit here and say that it really isn't nostalgia. For a lot of people, it really just fucking is. Like. I don't know what to tell you, man. Even I have nostalgia from Dragon Ball, but I'm like, no, there's things I'm willing to call out about it. Isn't Nami's mom still a dungeon? Is she really still in a dungeon based on the 4Kids dub? Really? That was the reasoning for Nami's mom? Dude, the 4Kids dub was trash. Holy shit. I now respect the One Piece anime will take more time than people need it. Oda needs it for health issues. Yeah. It's what would have changed in terms of the anime if the West and One Piece have a good dub. I don't know, man. At this point, I'm like, does it really matter at the end? Does it really matter if One Piece got a better dub at the start? I mean, maybe people could have had, like, more stuff for it, but, my bad. Accidentally hide from channel. Oh, it's fine. Let me see what he said. I did like the Destructo Disc play for Goku and Krillin. The Destructo Disc play is pretty cool. I do think the Destructo Disc play was cool. Bleach would never? Not really. I mean, it didn't really ruin the series rep because One Piece is still pretty popular in the States. If anything, One Piece is more popular than Bleach, so... I mean, yeah, Bleach could never, and it didn't end. Never doing that still... Still didn't do much for it, right? A lot of DBZ fans pushing 40, 50, yeah. They skipped Whiskey Peaks and went straight to Chopper, bro. Really? Fine. It's fine to disagree with the argument, but it's respectfully saying, no, yeah, that's kind of annoying. That is kind of annoying. That is kind of annoying. You know what? I'll take it back. That was bad on me. I'm sorry about that, Six. That was bad on me. Nothing in One Piece skippable. All right then. So you just leave him to do his own thing. Yeah, that's right. All we got to do now is support Captain Kyo. Oh, Momo. What does she do? What does Momo do? What is her purpose within this story? I forget that this is Momo. This just looks like Yachiru with black hair. This is just Yachiru with fucking black hair, dude. Bleach became so unpopular that Toei tried to replace it with Toriko. I don't know about that. Wait a second, Captain. You aren't actually considering leaving Captain Kyoraku to fend for himself. Why do we have to go? What happened to the whole race against time thing? Well, that's true, but I mean, well, then let me ask you. Care to chime in, Nano? I'll go back myself. Everyone else should go on ahead. Figures. And let me ask you one more thing. If Ukitake were here, what do you think he would say? If that was what Kyoraku said, then I'm sure leave it in his hands. It's settled then. Yeah. One Piece has gotten to the point where I think it's eclipsed Naruto in the West. Yeah, I would agree so. If there ain't any objections, it's just not wanting to download it. Cool. Seeing as how I'm on a roll, and imagine if it were old Genryusai being left behind. He'd also tell us to get our asses moving, don't you think? To take responsibility for the lives of his soldiers, because that's what it means to be a head captain. Dude, can you download? God damn, what the fuck is happening? There we go. Jesus Christ. No. No. Yes. Jesus Christ. Then the stream's kind of lagging for me. If it starts to lag for everybody, let me check the stream health. Yep, it's having issues. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll try to fix it in a second. Give me 1 segundo. I gotta remove the Ethernet cord and plug it into my PC. There we go. It should connect to the Ethernet cord now, and then the stream's quality should drastically improve. Yep, there we go. Okay. We shouldn't have that many issues with the stream. I'm not a fan of the live action. It's not bad. It shouldn't be done by real people. There are certain series that shouldn't just be done by people, and I think that, like, I'll say this. The One Piece live action is good, but I'm reaching more and more the conclusion that, considering how long Season 2 is taking, considering that the effort that the writers and the... Yeah, no problem, man. Honestly, I try to, like, have the best kind of experience for you guys as possible, at least in terms of, like, the quality, because, like, I don't want... I can't control a lot of factors, but I can at least control whether or not I have this thing plugged into the internet directly. I feel like One Piece live action, and some of you might disagree with me on this, but, like, I like it. I think it's good, and I think that the effort is really shown, especially with Oda's involvement. But it shouldn't be a live action. Like, I'm reaching more and more the conclusion that if it's taking this long to do it, what's the point of the live action then? Because at this pace, it really does feel like we'll get to the ending of the series, of the story as a whole, before we even get to the 3rd season of the live action. Like, I really do feel like if the live action comes in 2026, if Season 2 comes out in 2026, we won't get another a season of this shit until, like, 2028 at the earliest? Maybe 2029? That's a long time, man. The actors were in their early 20s by then, but by 2029 they'll be in their mid to late 20s, dude. That's a long time. Like, it's to get more normies into the series. Even my dad likes live. My mom loves the live action too. A friend of mine, she loves the live action. Well, she really liked the live action. She thought it was good, but it's like, it kind of makes then this experience of, like, yeah, it's in order to bring the normies, but eventually the characters will look too old, or they'll just not, like, there's no way you're going to tell me that Iñaki Godoy, by the time he's, like, in his 30s, is still going to be looking like a 19-year-old. That's going to be either some crazy CGI, or there's going to be some really good fucking face. I don't expect the live action to retell everything, but at least highlight the best arcs. I don't think you answered my question earlier. What series are you going to scale after Bleach? I don't know yet, man. I'm probably going to finish Bleach. I don't know if I should check out Toriko because of how short it is. Maybe I'll probably read through verses. I don't think I'm gonna scale it yet. I'm probably gonna like just look through verses. Maybe I'll check out Down the Dawn just to switch things up because I know that it's a series that like not a lot of people have talked about. I know that it does get some pretty high end scaling later on, towards like where it's at right now. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of like moving along and I'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll just go straight into video games. Hey Eon, there's a theory that the reason NES Nabi is always in daytime is because Joyboy created an artificial sun up there. If that's true, where would that scale him? Well, creation feats don't exactly pertain to like AP. I don't know about the theory very well, so I don't know if I really want to like boil any conclusions down to it. But one could also argue that it's because of the Eve tree. It could probably be like something along the lines of like the Eve trees that absorb all that sunlight, though it doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe it's something weird with the cosmology where the planet's not actually rotating. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. Black Clover whenever I feel like getting back into manga, I might switch up to games for a bit. I do want to play some games on stream. I do want to be able to like do some stuff, and I think it'll help out the channel and also help add some variety. Don't forget the season 4 is going to look like old Garp. Yeah. I just feel like One Piece is just so long. Like they don't have to retell everything like you said, but they also have to like retell enough of the good portions, and I don't know if you can really constrain all of that. I'll give the writers like time and like I'll give the writers time. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely give the writers time, and I'll give them like the benefit of doubt to see what they can do with it. But I don't know what they're gonna be able to do like onward. Like what's season 3 gonna be? Skypiea plus Water 7. They can probably skip. They can probably skip Thriller Bark, but we need to add Brook to the crew, so you can't skip Thriller Bark. So it'd have to be like Thriller Bark and all the way through up. It'd have to be like everything from Thriller Bark up until like at least the start of Marineford. Yeah, it'll probably never finish. Like I'm really hoping that like it's just one of those cases where like they don't. I do want to scale Black Clover. I just feel like I want to kind of step away from manga for a bit. I do want to do maybe some games. That was rather reckless. Reckless. Did you assume that being in close quarters would give you a sword or your sword an advantage? I did. I mean, you've already been cut, haven't you? Yeah. Okay. My intent was to slice off your entire arm, but I guess I ended up a bit too merciful when push came to shove. Okay. Diagram. This gun is my bow. I've created it for my reishi. I see. So no matter how many times I slice it or break it off, you'll just make another and continue fighting. But aren't you forgetting the rules? Okay. If you take your eyes off me for even a moment, if your eyes should catch a glimpse of my shadow, after that, that's still projected upon my eyes, may or may not be a silhouette. Do you remember? Yeah. Okay. Back when you were a kid, how the sight of your own shadow would sometimes scare the living crap out of you? No, they wouldn't. Ah, now you've done it. That's the 3rd time. Only when both my eyes are open can I use the true essence of the X-axis. In other words, my bullets will pass through your body and your sword. Your sword will pass right through my body. Is that what they meant? I see. When both your eyes are open, everything goes out the window. Correct. In this moment, within this world, there is no weapon that can kill me. So now, when I succumb to the danger of battle, just for a brief moment, I'm able to open both my eyes. While both my eyes are open, criminals and cheaters are at my mercy. Ah, is that so? Well then, how about you hurry up and close your eye then? But once I've opened my third time eye in battle, I was able to complete that fight with my own eye open. What the fuck is he saying? I think the translation here is kind of fucked. If you decide to scale Black Clover, you can always ask me any questions you could, because they already most likely have any answers. Oh, I got you, 6. I'll definitely be coming to you, especially for like Black Clover scaling. I'll definitely be coming to you, man. Don't worry about it. You can't skip Thriller Bark, especially now with God Valley. Favorite character design from each of the big 3? I don't really have a favorite character design in Bleach. I don't really like the character designs all that much. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't know. I don't like no character really calls out to me. I don't know, man. What's a design I really like in One Piece? Nami. I really love Nami's design, and I really love Sage of Six Paths mode Naruto. It looks so cool to me. I love Naruto wearing the full jumpsuit with the orange jacket. If you want to scale a game, why don't you try Metal Gear Revengeance? Good game and easy, but exciting scaling. I could probably get it. If it's on PlayStation 5, I can probably get it. If I can get it from the store, I can probably get it. I am the final Quincy granted power by His Majesty. No, you're not. You're not the final Quincy granted power by His Majesty because His Majesty gave Uryu the shrift. So that's just a blatant lie. That's a blatant lie. His Majesty's greatest champion, more than a man on the outskirts of being a god. And this godlike creation to have his eye open after being put in a vulnerable state 3 times is the one thing that should be never allowed to happen. Zyrael. He's rendered me immobile. Ching ching ching. Okay, you got shot. Cool. That's just a blatant plot hole. All of Bleach characters were the same fit. So boring. Yeah. When people say that Bleach characters have a lot of fit, I will say that, like, Kubo can draw, but when I mean that he can draw, I usually mean, like, this. Right? Let me show you guys real quick. Covers. When I say that, like, Kubo can draw, this is sort of what I mean when I say, like, the fits. In terms of, like, the actual series, I really don't like the Shihaku shows. Are kind of bland and boring. Like, people that say Shunsui Kirako has like the best drip in the whole series, I'm like, bro, he wears a straw hat. He wears a large straw hat and a pink haori over his normal outfit. Besides the fact that I feel like he should be very hot inside that outfit, it's just a pink fucking traditional outfit on top of your black and white outfit that's below a white fit. He's wearing a shirt on top of a shirt on top of a really big outfit. This is what I mean when I say that Kubo has really good drip. Besides that, I don't think that, like, the lieutenants or the captains, like, this is not really drip to me. He's just wearing a haori on top of his, like, I get the reason for it. I get the reason for the pins. It's just, they're trash. I like the Espada designs a lot better because, like, they have a lot more personality to them for each of the Espadas, but the captains, the Shinigami, it's all just the same fit with, like, a sprinkle of worth of difference. He needs to open his eye 3rd time to fully use his powers. Like, in my opinion, first of all, like, Rukia adding in, like, a couple of, like, white sleeves and cutting her hair, not that great a drip. I really don't care for it. But Ichigo getting, like, the X's across his body, that does change up the design quite a bit, including even, like, with like, his socks and even, like, the neck guard. My god, Juram literally is just wearing a white military uniform, dude. I gathered that. It just, the translation for it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, the translations really just don't make sense. To receive a shrift. It's a mistranslation. It was actually the first Quincy to receive a shrift. Okay. Got you. Yeah, and we all know why I like Nami's design. Yeah. She's hot. Okay. Man, I can run pretty well if I do say so myself. 1 second. He was shot here, and on his hat. Okay, just making sure. So he was shot shoulder thing. Truthfully, I would have been a lot easier if I just died right there on the spot. That's the kicker about being ridiculously strong. You can't even lose consciousness, much less die. I guess Nanao Chen's the only one who will make fun of me when I say stuff like that. Isn't she? Okay. Too close. I thought he wasn't supposed to miss. I thought the X-axis wasn't supposed to miss. How the fuck did he miss? You run well considering your injuries. Real Eon is probably gooning Nanami right now. Real Eon is in bed right now. What's he doing right now? He's looking at the special fight between Nami and Khalifa that was drawn up again by some other artist that is likely a hentai artist. He's reading it right now with one hand. He's not even like lying in bed. He's literally standing on the bed, wearing the entire covers over his head. He kind of looks like a dark blue ghost, just standing on the bed. And I see some really weird movement coming in from underneath the bed. Nami is bland fan service. I'll admit Bleach has 2, but it's like 2 or 1 characters unlike Nami. 2 or 1 characters. Nami usually doesn't really go for the... Nami is like, okay, fan service. She's fine. You're saying she's bland, you just don't like the character. That's fine. I could say the same thing about Rangiku. I mean, You can say the same thing about Rangiku, not a Yoruichi type of guy. I can admit that Yoruichi is attractive, but I think it was the idea that, like, when she was in a cat form, when I first watched the series, because I took the series in when I was a teenager. When I first watched the series, her cat form had the voice of a male, had like a male voice, and I don't know, just from there on out, I was just like, I don't know, I just don't like Yoruichi. I don't know, I don't find her. I don't find her like attractive. I guess because of that, it's weird. I remember my dad did that and spilled a bunch of milk on the bed. Crazy thing is he didn't even have a cup. Yeah, man, it happened too. Like, I've had to change the sheets for real Eon every fucking day, man. It's annoying. Like, we're running out of sheets. I hate having to go run errands while Eon just lies in bed. What a fucking bum, dude. You're unwell, considering your injuries, but you think you can escape me? You escape from me? Oh, he can teleport? My words fall on deaf ears. I told you there is no weapon capable of cutting me down. Oh, I heard you. So how about a Keto Blade? Hado number 78, Sangirin. What does number 78 do? Is it just an energy slash? It is just an energy slash. Sangirin, you know what this looks like? This looks like a very small Getsuga Tensho. This actually looks like a very small Getsuga Tensho. Finally, we made it to the bad guy's HQ. Time to get psyched up. Yes, sir. Am I the only one who thinks the fan service in the One Piece manga is not really there? Like, yes, Nami looks hot. That's kind of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like when does Nami, like, really... When is, like, the whole... When is there really a lot of fan service in the manga? I guess, like, maybe Fishman Island. I guess you could maybe say the Nami Khalifa fight, like the original Nami Khalifa fight, where, like, Khalifa does sud her up. I guess if you want to say, like, Nami ripping off her, like, outfit... back in Alabasta could be like fan service, but it's not really like a moment where like she's trying to be like legitimately sexy. She's just trying to make herself a bit more comfortable to fight in. I don't know. When does Nami really like go for like crazy fan service? They did a little bit of it in the Stampede movie. You know what I mean? Has way more character to her story. Her backstory may be covered early on, but it gives her freedom to react and develop. Yeah, I feel like an early backstory also isn't a bad thing, because it does give you like time to like really grow on as a character. I mean, she went from somebody who like had a terrible childhood to being somebody later on, especially post time skip, who like genuinely seems to care about children and their well-being and hates anybody who mistreats them or treats them like garbage. Wanting any backstory with no reading comprehension. Wanting any backstory with no reading comprehension? Why would I want a backstory of why Gunko wears skimpy outfits? I mean, why does Yoruichi wear skimpy outfits? What's the backstory behind why Yoruichi wears skimpy outfits? I mean, Orihime's reason for wearing skimpy outfits, it's that they literally just hand her the clothing and she just puts it on. Especially because Ichigo will like it. Because they literally tell her, Ichigo will like this, why don't you wear it? That's Orihime's reason. I've noticed Bleach villains have a habit of saying, I told you XYZ wouldn't work a lot. Yeah, no, it happens a lot. It really does happen a lot. Unga Bunga Tensho, but unironically has done more. We'll see about that, because I know for a fact that attack doesn't take out Lilebaro. Wow, he came from pretty far away. Intruders! Well, you've done well to make it this far. Nobody stopped it. It's not like we came to you. We came flying over here. Our it ends here. If you wish to progress, then you must defeat me. You just don't listen, do you? What the hell is with this guy? Yeah. Alright then, we'll take you out 1, 2, 3 and keep moving. Can you handle this? That was my plan. Who said anything about defeating me one-on-one? Even with a miracle, you could not defeat me in single combat. Come at me, all of you. Ah, look, the Kubo writing style, where as soon as a character gets a power based on anything, that's all that they fucking say. Oh, it's a miracle, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. You'll need a miracle. Real Eon said if he could choose any devil fruit to use in real life, he would choose the clear fruit. Real Eon never said that. If real Eon could choose any devil fruit as his power, he would choose Law's devil fruit, the Ape Ape no Mi. I would do that. I would choose... What I would do with the Ape Ape no Mi is I would get a dog. It would be like a cute little dog. I don't know what kind of dog it'll be yet. And then whenever real Eon gets to the point where he's like very sick or whatever, he'll perform the immortality life transfer thing, and he'll give it to the dog. Just so the dog lives forever, so it never has to suffer or anything. It can just be a nice little dog that gets taking care of the family, and it'll always show love to the family. That'll be what real Eon does. Damn. Not that I thought keto would have that much of an effect, But not even a scratch? Oh, so it is a Getsuga Tensho. It was a Getsuga Tensho! Guys, it was a Getsuga Tensho! Shunsui just shot out a Getsuga Tensho in the form of a Keto. So this is what it's like to be all out of options. I've run all the way back to the place where we first arrived. Everybody else should be far away enough by now. No. Sorry if you get caught up in this. Guess I'll go with my next and final option. Bankai. Katen Kyokotsu Kuramatsu Shinju. That is fan service and Shunko used for Yoruichi. To be fair, didn't Kubo like quite literally develop an entire like power system? Shunko Bleach. Didn't Kubo like create like an entire branch of the power just so that he could like show women revealing their shoulders? Yeah, isn't the whole point of Shunko that like the users have to like not wear any sleeves from like the back from like their back or like their shoulders so that their energy could release sporadically? Kubo just wanted to show these harlots revealing sleeves, man. He just wanted to reveal their fucking shoulders and back. What harlots? What an absolute gooner. Am I the only one who's lagging? Probably. I should have good connection. No! What are you talking about? I'm connected to the internet. What the fuck? Oh yeah, it might not just be you. The stream health might not be okay. We'll experience buffering? That's unfortunate. Okay. You're the one from before. What happened to Grimjow? Grimjow? You mean the guy with the wild Elvis hairdo? He's asleep over there. Wait, or was it over there? The roads always give me trouble. They're so confusing. So Grimjow lost? How about we don't talk about things in terms of winning and losing? It's not really my thing. I'm not asking would you prefer, answer me. Nah. But I could probably tell you my name at least. I'm asking Naklavar. Ooh, what the fuck happened? What the hell? It got dark. I did really freaking cold all of a sudden. No, this isn't a drop in temperature. Nor did it get dark. These are the chills. No way, we can't even see or hear anything, and yet this chill won't go away. This Reiatsu. It's Kyoraku-san. Biblically accurate angel, I suppose. Do my eyes deceive me? It feels as though the sky has grown darker. How does the world appear to you at the moment? Does it seem cold and lonely, full of despair? I see. So this is your ability? Indeed, the surroundings appear to have gotten somewhat darker. Is this a bankai? Indeed it is. It is dark. But I wouldn't go as far as full despair since emissaries of God do not feel despair. Okay. Okay. I may not have any information about your Bankai's abilities, but there is one in fact that I understand completely. Kill the wielder of the sword and the Bankai vanishes. What? What is this? Act 1, Tameraiki Zuno Wakachiai. I started my no-hit and scale of Expedition 33, and man, Act 1 is easy. Good luck with that, dude. The Bankai could take care of the entire One Piece. Let's see. The wounds inflicted on your partner's body appear on your own as though they are being shared. The unfortunate thing is that you cannot die from them. What is this? What's happening? I told you, this is Bankai. Zanki no Shitone. The man, regretting the wounds he inflicted upon his partner, lies face down in bed with a deep sense of shame and is stricken by an incurable disease. And then suddenly, Act 3... It can't be. No matter how hard I fly, the surface just gets farther away. It's obvious, isn't it? We've already cast ourselves into the water. Flap your wings all you want. It's too late now. Although, you know, I can't say I don't understand how you feel. Throwing your body into frigid water can cause your resolve to freeze up too. But that is merely you thinking only of yourself. There are limits, even to how wretched one can be. The wretchedness of a man who's sworn a vow will not cast away a woman's affection. Isn't that right, Sakura Nosuke? Long time no see, Ohana. Oh, Hana, how very intimate. How can you refer to me in such a manner when you only play with me once in a great while? Hana comes from Katen. The character pronounced Ka can be read as Hana when not read around the word, and O, an old honorific form attached to a two-syllable words in ancient times show familiarity. Oh, don't be like that. I'm sorry, Ohana. And look here, your kimono's torn. That's what you get for always covering yourself in another woman's kimono. How unsightly. Still as mean as ever, I see. Mean I may be, but I am your sword, your companion choking back her own desires, sworn to be by your side until the very end. Who are you talking to? Do you think that this battle is over? That you can kill me? Do not think that a Shinigami's Bankai can kill one such as myself. A woman's affection is tragic indeed. A man who is violent and wild has no ear with which to listen. Around the throat glimmers a thread of white, soaked in the regret of lost love. The very least a man my hands can do is cut away this thread of regret that entangles you. Now the grand final act. Otokiri basami chizome no nodobue. Wow. So let me understand what this Bankai does, right? It creates a situation where in Act 1, if Shunsui takes damage from the opponent, the damage is reflected onto the opponent. In Act 2, they get covered in an incurable disease because they regretted dealing that damage since it reflected upon them. And then in Act 3, which I don't know what exactly it has anything to do with, a woman's affection is tragic indeed. A man who is violent and wild has no ear with which to listen. Around the throat glimmers a thread of white, soaked in regret of lost love. The very least my hands can do is cut away this thread of regret that entangles you. Now the final act. And then the final act is essentially creating a thread that damages the opponent. Yeah, but like, what does it do? Forget everything I said about this Bankai. Holy, I want one. I think he did. I don't get what like the point of this Bankai is. I want to see some agenda scaling. You guys can create an infinite amount of their element, which means infinite energy. I don't get this. So the damage stricken by a woman's tragic affection is severed by Shunsui. But how does that translate to the... I need to look this up. I need to look this up. How the fuck does this Bankai work? I mean, it shows Shunsui's ruthlessness. That's the thing. I don't give a shit about his ruthlessness. How does it work? That's completely irrelevant to me. I just want to know how this thing works. Okay, Bankai. Considered Bankai as a last resort that we only use if his allies are fast enough, lest they be caught up in its effects. To release, Shunsui holds a Shikai out in front of him, and the blade pointing down prompts several black tendrils to extend out from him like shadows, while the Zanpakuto Kanten manifests behind him. A vast area subsequently overcast with okay, I don't care about any of that. The stage for Kanten Kyokotsu remain its shape. Okay. Forces him and his opponent to act out roles of a tragic play, based on a story of a double suicide of two lovers. Okay, that makes sense. Each of the Bankai's 4 techniques represents an act in the overarching narrative conveyed by Shunsui reciting a brief exposition poem, and casts an unavoidable curse-like effect upon Shunsui's opponent. The final act is meant to assure that the opponent's death by destroying their head, meaning that the only one who can survive losing their head can survive the Bankai. Okay, so like... Does Kamui bypass this? Any Logia user unironically just evades this then. Because a Logia user can evade having their head be dismembered since they just spawn a new one. Nothing is pulling me out. Fair enough. Any wounds that Shunsui or his opponent inflict on each other will emerge on their body as well, as if shared. Shunsui compares this story to a man who suffers the same wound as his partner, yet he cannot die from them. Black spots appear all over the body of Shunsui's opponents, causing them to bleed profusely. Continuing his story, Shunsui likens to the man feeling shame after wounding his partner, causing him to collapse in the shame, becoming incurably ill. Okay, that makes sense. Shunzui and his opponent are engulfed in a massive inescapable body of water, which both are meant to remain until one of them runs out of Reiatsu and drowns. Shunzui narrates the two characters from a story hurling themselves into gushing water. After sheathing his sword, Shunzui winds a white thread around the opponent's throat multiple times before pulling it out, leaving a deep cut in the throat that expands before blowing up their head. Completing his story, he likens this to a regretful man's actions, ignoring his pleas and merciful shearing his throat. You can argue Blindfly is soul-based and conceptual-based. The Admirals, not really. They don't actually ever attack the soul. You say that because they're only fighting souls, but the souls also have clear blood, clear organs, clear breathing. They have to do all these things. Bleach's souls, or quote-unquote souls, are nothing more than glorified bodies. So no, I don't agree with that ability to affect them on a concept or anything like that. Or them only being soul-based abilities where it bypasses the real body and directly targets the soul. I don't believe that in the slightest bit. That's completely fallacious at this point. He's not speed blitzing them because you can't quantify Bleach's speed to anything even remotely close to One Piece. You quite literally cannot quantify Bleach's speed scaling to be anything close to One Piece, because even if I give you the early light speed meta, the best you could say is that characters are unquantifiably faster than other characters who at best become 10 to 100 times faster, which is still a piss poor comparison towards One Piece, where I can say that Luffy is unironically in Wano with Gear 4 and Advanced Conqueror's Haki 27,000 times the speed of light. A series about souls and ghosts not having soul attacks? Yeah, no, they don't. They literally affect the real body. As a matter of fact, Chad was able to affect a hollow. Chad was able to literally slam a hollow. There's zero way you can get him to FTL Plus or MFTL. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, I can completely say that, listen, the light speed meta, I can completely ignore all of the lightning speed stuff from the light novels and all that stuff. You still cannot say that Bleach is fast enough to contend with One Piece, because at best, their most intense multipliers are all 10 times faster than the speed of, 10 times faster or 100 times faster with, holification as well. You need to be immortal to survive this Bankai. You really don't. You just have to be able to survive decapitation, which any Logia user can do. Literally any Logia user can just survive decapitation. Can we watch Stein's video last? It depends on how long I'm going to be on this, because I really just have to clear through this. And I'm only up to 6 chapters, so we spent too much time. We quite literally spent too much time talking earlier. To be fair, that's more on me than you guys. That's really not on you guys. That was all. Are you? Okay, wait, what the fuck? Downloads. Oh, I guess I already had the 10th chapter. It's not faster than Bleach, cut it out. It really is. I can unironically quantify how fast One Piece is based on second gear, third gear several statement, and then Luffy easily surpassing his third gear self from post time skip. Yeah, Lightspeed is very fast. They're just not as fast, dog. You realize that Logia's shit is purely reaction based. It's not purely a passively. I mean, it could be purely reaction based. It doesn't matter. They are objectively faster, and Shunzui still has to get from act to act. So if I, as a Logia user, shoot Shunzui's arm off, you could say it reflects on me. Sure, I'll just grow it back with my Logia powers. Unless you can prove that this Bankai attacks on a conceptual level, I have no reason to believe that. And they really don't. They really don't attack the souls. They just fight each other as souls. Nope, I'm not gonna watch it right now. I have to get through this. This means more to me than watching a fellow YouTuber's video. Whenever I get through Bleach entirely, I can make the following stream. I mean, that and Logia's power is reaction based. You need to manually activate the Logia power. You really don't. But let's just say that you did. Again, why wouldn't I just be having my Logia intangibility active through all of this? Why wouldn't I just do that? How much have I missed? Not much. We chatted for a bit. That was really it. What's stopping me from just having my Logia intangibility through all of this? That's what you don't seem to understand. If I am a character from a faster story, then reaction-based feats are not even remotely, even if I conceded that, reaction-based feats are not even remotely an issue. And if I am a character from a faster verse, and I just have to have my intangibility active, how Luffy hit Smoker in Alabasta? Because it was a gag scene. And also, Smoker can, Yeah, Smoker can just have his body be tangible. He can also have his body not be tangible. Again, I can give you the whole reaction-based stuff that doesn't matter because, again, what's stopping me from just having my intangibility up at this point? It's not like Shunsui says, you cannot react, you cannot act, you cannot even think. So, again, you really don't have a point here. You think you've made a whole point with this, you really haven't. Again, I made every single argument just now off of the basis that even if it is reaction-based, they're punching souls without attacking souls. Crazy that Black Clover characters can affect the souls, but a series about ghosts doesn't affect the soul. Yeah? You're coping, dude. Fuck you mean a gag scene. Everything in One Piece is gag-based. I just told you. I can 100% agree to the notion that even if Logia users' ability to become intangible is reaction-based, they are faster, and nothing within the context of Shunsui's Bankai is going to prevent them from simply being intangible through the entirety of it. You cannot catch them off guard, at least within the context of One Piece. You can't catch them off guard because they have Haki. Bleach characters don't have precognition. Most of them don't, at least. Yuhabaha does. What's your thoughts on Lily Baro's powers? I think they're stupid, and I think they don't make any sense, especially this point right here. Let me show you something. He says they cannot be dodged. Conventional dodging doesn't matter, yada, yada, yada. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Here, hold on. This has to be deleted. This one going to be deleted. I don't think it makes sense, because how did he dodge this one then, right? He's supposed to be in his Vollständig, which means that he should be able to land the hits guaranteed even now, but he still misses Shunsui. He still misses him. Also, Bleach characters never show any impressive speed gap, but there are many times where weaker characters react to characters that are way out of their leagues, like Nanao with Lille. Yeah, 100%. You're gonna sit here and tell me that Nanao is supposed to... You're telling me that Nanao is MFTL with no prior feats, no statements, nothing? She's just keeping up with these guys? She should have been a combatant at that point. She should have been a combatant. Do you think Coyote Stark's helping Shunsui as a tag team would have made this fight better? I think so. I think it would have been a lot more interesting, at least to have two gun-based opponents fight each other while Shunsui tries to get Lily Baro. I think it would honestly have been a lot more impressive than just Nanao coming in out of nowhere. You can still aim dodge. You can't dodge after it's been fired. That doesn't make any sense because the ability states... Let me show you. The ability states for the X-axis... There we go. I had to click like a bunch of times, dude. What the fuck? No, it states right here. Let me see. Not the Vollständig. Oh, his Schrift. Each shot reaches the target instantly. Each shot reaches the target instantly, which means that he either missed on purpose or he wasn't aiming for Shunsui. At least the Bankai can kill 98% of the verse. I mean, you went from it can kill the whole verse and now 90% of the verse. I don't really give a shit if I can. I don't really give a shit. You're like trying to take these small little wins because you can't accept the fact that somebody doesn't like your series. Oh, he doesn't like my series? Well, at least this guy can totally solo the verse. Okay, I don't give a shit. I could genuinely care less. Oh, like when people say like, oh man, my series might be trash, but it's stronger than your series. You call my series trash, but it's stronger than your series. Like, okay, and Black Clover could be stronger than One Piece. I don't give a shit. I like both series just as fine. I like Black Clover still. I like Naruto still. I like One Piece still. They're all fine. I don't really care which one's bigger. I actually, when I started my channel, I was gonna make versus battle content under the assumption that One Piece was weaker than Naruto. I was still gonna make the matchups. I was still gonna do all this stuff regardless. I don't give a shit which verse is stronger. It's about just liking the stories. Just running this wrong low ball by you. If post time skip Luffy is FTL, then second gear, then times 10 second gear, and times 4 gear 4, he would be 400 times FTL, no? And after Wano, he is faster than his base, so 16k times FTL, no? Well, it actually goes a little bit different, right? So, Luffy by the end of pre-time skip on the biggest low ball you can give him, base Luffy, pre-time skip, pre-TS, is light speed. He's FTL because he's dodging beams of light, but he's light speed, right? Gear 2 Luffy, Gear 2 is a 10 times amp. Gear 2 is a 10 times amp, right? Which I think is completely fine. Post time skip Luffy, base post time skip Luffy. Luffy should be stronger, is stronger than every prior version of himself, is stronger than every natural prior version of himself. So you can just as easily argue that he's at the very least on a low ball, at least as strong as Gear 2 Luffy, which means 10x FTL, right? So then you have Gear 2 PTS Luffy, I'll just post time skip Luffy. Gear 2 PTS Luffy should be 100 times FTL. And if you genuinely just lowball Gear 4 down to the slightest bit, Gear 4 is several times stronger than Gear 2, which is 3 times bare minimum. Several is at the very least 3 or more. So then what you have here is Luffy in Dressrosa. Without accounting for any increases in strength is 330 times 10 is 300 times light speed, and again all of these are low balls. Then you go into Wano, assuming no increases in strength up until Udon training. Luffy in strength up until Udon training. Luffy surpasses Gear 4 from Dressrosa in the rooftop fight. So base Luffy is now 300 times FTL Gear 4 Luffy is 9,000 because it's 30 times. Sorry, 300 times 3 is that, so it's 9,000 times FTL. ACOC, Advanced Conqueror's Haki, performs better than prior Gear 4. It performs better than his prior Gear forms against Kaido. More consistent damage and dodges attacks more consistently. So it has to be at least comparable to Gear 4 in terms of an amp, which means ACOC is at least a 30 times amp, a 30 times stat amp. So now, round 3 Luffy. Technically, this would be round 4 Luffy, but we'll count that as Gear 5. Round 3 Luffy with Gear 4 and ACOC. Mind you, Luffy should have also gotten stronger after his fight with Kaido. After refueling, And coming back, his ACOC is stated verbatim to have been refined. Verbatim to have been refined. But we're not, but refined. But without accounting for the refinement itself, not accounting, we won't account for the refinement. We won't account for the refinement. ACOC with gear forward ACOC should be his base form of 300 times FTL times FTL base times 30 gear 4 times where's the button times 30 ACOC is a grand total of 27,000 times FTL. There you go. There we go. The gears don't stack to each other. That's headcanon. No, they don't. What do you mean they're not stacking? What gears don't stack? What do you mean they're not stacking? It's several times stronger, so it's at least... Who's stacking gears? This is Luffy's base, Gear 4, and ACO stacking gears. I did not finish consuming Clorox. But yeah. With all of these amps and all of these buffs, considering training, considering increases in power, not even accounting for any of his buffs throughout any of the arcs. That's what's calc stacking. No, they're not. What about this is calc stacking? His base surpasses Gear 4. His base surpasses Gear 4. His base clearly surpassed Gear 4. Gear 4 is at least a 30 times amp. A 30 times amp bare minimum. Gear 4 is a 30 times amp bare minimum. Everything is calc stacking. How is it calc stacking? Explain that. Luffy's base is objectively lightspeed. He objectively surpassed himself. These are multipliers. This isn't calc stacking. This is multipliers. The math is all there. I haven't expressed any disingenuous claims right here. Several times greater than his limits. Second gear is stated. Comes from a specific translation of a data book. The original data book does not say that. Yes, but they don't contradict one another. And it says that he gains great speed and strength. And it's the only way we can quantify second gear besides saying that because Luffy's able to now use Soru, which allows him to kick off the ground 10 times in an instant, either you use that or you use the data book. The data book's just the more consistent one. That's the thing. We don't know how strong they are. It's unquantifiable. No. We know how strong they are on a low ball. We know how strong they are on a low ball. That's how we know how strong they are. Several is the bare minimum. 3 is the bare minimum value for a term like several. 3 times is a bare minimum for the term several. Luffy surpasses his second gear self, which can run at 10 times the speed of light, given information that is quantifiable. I haven't quantified whatsoever any of the buffs that Luffy got. As far as you're concerned, everything that I've said for Luffy just now is under the assumption that he does not get any amps or improvements until Udon training. And the Udon training simply makes him stronger than Gear 4. I have played Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree. It's a very good DLC. I've actually been thinking about maybe going back. Why do people keep only using Haku to prove light speed? If it was consistent, there would be more light speed feats past the point pre-time skip. It's because they really don't have anything else to go off of. It's essentially Haku Haku is Lightspeed, therefore everybody else is Lightspeed, and it doesn't matter what other stuff happens within the context of the story that might even remotely contradict it. Haku is Lightspeed, therefore everybody else needs to be Lightspeed. That's the argument. That genuinely just is the argument. But anyway, none of the information I hear is even remotely untrue. Forget power scaling, stories where it's at. All these comparisons don't ultimately matter. Well, they ultimately don't matter, that is true, but the point of what we're doing is just to have conversation about power scaling because we like power scaling. And power scaling is inherently important to all these stories. There's no way that you should have a weaker character defeat a stronger character unless it's a reason that's established within the context of the story, or else that would just be bad writing. All shonen series have power scaling to them. All we do is just talk about the different interpretations of said power scaling, but it's a fun hobby. It's a funny hobby. Sometimes you can get really dumb stuff. It really just depends on how much weight you put into it, but you can't have a series like Naruto if a series like Naruto does not work if it does not inherently have some level of power scaling to it, because otherwise you have moments like, well, I don't know, let's just say Sakura punching Kaguya, but instead of her getting a punch from the back of the head, she just runs straight at her, blitzes Kaguya, and punches her straight in her face. That would be a sign of not only bad power scaling, but bad writing. Yeah. True, it provides in-universe consistency. Maybe, no, it's fine if you've outgrown it. No, it's never a case to say that, like, oh, you have to like power scaling or anything like that. If you've outgrown it or you feel like it's one of those things within the context of a story that matters little, I can completely understand why anybody could even have that perspective. For the people, I feel like, if anything, it's sort of like this fatigue that people have. I'll say this right now, and I've noticed this, that with like people, there's this level of like fatigue that a lot of people seem to get when it comes to certain pieces of, let's say, media or certain portions of like fan bases where characters, for example, like, not even characters, where parts of the fan base, for example, like Goku Solo's fiction, oh, Goku Solos, bro, Goku Solos, it doesn't matter, Goku's the strongest guy out there, he'll beat your fiction, where it's like, that kind of stuff can honestly be very frustrating, especially if you're just trying to have a conversation about anything, right? It's definitely a case of every series, especially when it comes to shonen, or even, My Little Pony technically has power scaling within it too. Of course, My Little Pony isn't necessarily like a combat series, but it is a series that, characters may interact with each other every now and then, right? So, with certain series that do take themselves more seriously, there's a consistent level of power scaling that you need to have, at least within the context of its own story, because you have to have an established hierarchy, especially when it's like, let's say, like a battle shonen, right? But, people, you can honestly grow very tired of that very quickly, and you can have some fatigue to it, because a lot of people tend to take that stuff seriously, or when, let's say, you're having a conversation about Naruto and the things behind the series, somebody could say, yeah, but Naruto still loses to Goku. Yeah, you can definitely have, like, that level of fatigue, or where people are like, yeah, but no, but, like, Naruto loses to Sasuke, or Sakura beats my guy. It's like, you don't want to have those kind of conversations, because those conversations are what you want to have. You want to have conversations about the narrative, about the lore, about what the author did, both good and bad, and in many cases, doesn't necessarily mean he's 10 times faster, and I don't necessarily see a specific translation from the one language that it isn't any other translation it's reliable, but it's still a canon data book entry, and that's all I fucking need, Aster. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it's right to use, it's still the only way I can quantify second gear. Otherwise, I have to go through some hoops like Doriki and all this other stuff, and people have issues with that, so I might as well just use the data book statement. If Naruto can base its entire scaling based on a single data book statement, then I can do the same. Yeah, like, because One Piece can't beat Dragon Ball Z, it's inherently worse series to some. Yeah, I mean, like some people just have that issue, and it's like, I mean, if you want to genuinely consider it bad because they lose to Goku, then I feel like it's more on your ability to intake media than it is on anything else. You just have different things that you care about within your story. You probably just want to read power fantasies about characters being very overpowered, and then, you could just point them towards these other series. So at that point, it's like, what am I supposed to tell you, right? That's just your own preferences. It's like with me and Bleach. I like characters. I like things to make sense. I like it when my characters get their flowers. When characters feel like they have some purpose within the story that isn't just, well, I just so happen to have been born in this verse because the author thought me up. I don't actually matter within the larger context of the narrative. Bleach does that a lot. What the hell? I can't believe it. I cut his head off and he didn't die. I'm in trouble for sure. Yes. What the fuck does this even mean? How the fuck did it even become this? This doesn't make any sense. That statement is used from Mifune, and it's a skill-based move. Obviously, a random samurais aren't that same skill as Mifune. What is that? Why is that light speed, and who... The light speed, and who said it's light speed attack? I don't know, man. Oh, you guys are just having a discussion. Which is the issue with Doriki. I never understood that. It's an arc-specific and group-specific power scaling tool. Where is the issue? Yeah, people just don't like it because you can get very... It's a thing. That's the thing, Marcos. It's because you can get One Piece scaling to be absolutely absurd once you go into like the Doriki stuff. When I do Naruto versus Luffy, I'm gonna be using the Doriki stuff, and if anyone has any issue with me using it, I'm gonna say go cry about it because Doriki is sometimes better, and that is from a data book that sometimes added a random translation. But guess what? It doesn't contradict the story. I don't know what else to say, man. It doesn't contradict it. With Naruto, some of the data book statements do contradict it. It doesn't contradict it. I don't know what to tell you. It does have some pretty lame villains, like this owl was horrible. Yeah, I don't get why the fuck this happened. That is despair, Kyorako Shunsui. Lies? What lies? What did I say was a lie? Instead of saying lies, say what it is. Weapons cannot kill me, nor decapitating me with Ryatsu. Sinners despair at the sight of such a form. I am immortal, I am invincible, I am the privileged emissary of God. All sinners are powerless before one such as I. Cool. Now shoots through. Man, what a country level blast. Let me stop. Power levels, then pre-time skip Lucci beats through a number of Saiyan Saga villains. I don't know about that, dude. On the other side of that tower, to think that you'd still have the strength to run from my light of judgment, especially after your dark black belly was hollowed out by my purifying light. It's just as I expected from the head captain, so sinful. Isn't this an X-axis attack? How did he dodge it? Oh, he didn't dodge it, he still got hit. Oh no. How did he dodge it? Isn't this attack supposed to be from the X-axis? Let us run away. I can do no more against an opponent whom Karematsu Shinju cannot kill. You have fought enough till you were out of breath and high on conscience. You should run now. No one will condemn you. Now rest a while, and I shall carry you away. Shunsui-san, wake up. Please wake up. Bankai didn't work because this was probably the only character in the verse that can come back from it. It was anyone else, it wouldn't work. He aim dodged, I guess. It doesn't make sense. Okay, Thor, you're here. Isn't this ability an X-axis attack? Isn't this like an X-axis? How the fuck was he able to dodge it? I thought the X-axis was meant to be able to like stop an attack as soon as it happens. Like aim dodging shouldn't be a case if all he has to do is just point and click. He's using his ability to aim dodge? Yeah, that's right. I guess it's because Shunsui has an eye patch, and because he has an eye patch, he can't see the barrel of the move, therefore it must not be targeting him. What's the story of Bleach? The story is Ichigo Kurosaki is a 15-year-old who can see spirits, and one day, and he likes helping out people, and he likes helping out spirits. Why? Because he saw Mommy Dearest die. And then one day he runs into Rukia Kuchiki, who was all planned out, who was sent there by Aizen because everything was planned by Aizen. And Rukia, for whatever illogical reason that is never explained within the context of the story, loses to a Day 1 Hollow. A Day 1 Hollow that is much weaker than a Gillian-class Gillian-class Menos Grande, let alone a Arrancar version of a Gillian-class Menos Grande, which she one-shots later. Alright, have a good one, Aster. Hope you have a good day, man. Would have worked if it was anyone else except Lily Barrow. I don't know, it probably wouldn't have worked on Aizen, because Aizen is also immortal. Kikuo contradicting his own story and using plot armor for every Shinigami to win unwinnable scenarios he wrote. Oh, that makes perfect sense then. That makes 100% perfect sense. That's not a story. All the plot holes are a resort of Aizen's hidden Bankai. That's what I'm saying, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. Aizen has such an insane, crazy Bankai that is still affecting everyone to this day and makes everyone think that he has... I don't know, man. Either he's aim dodging or he has infinite speed. Choose which one you think is the truth. That's what I'm saying, man. Power scaling's all about interpretation. And my interpretation of this is absolute dog shit. The Getsuga Tensho vid is absolutely great, and I hope we get more serious critiques like it. Reminds me of the Bleach Honest trailer back when people didn't lie to themselves into liking Thousand Year Blood War. Also, Shuzui has close to infinite speed because he dodged and aim dodged the X-axis. See? That's another form of interpretation. See, you can believe that because he either has infinite speed, and I believe he dodged it because Kubo is a dog shit writer who cannot be consistent for the life of him. Please give me my Zanpakuto. There's no time to think about it. Quickly, forget the promise you made to my mother. What's this? Here I was wondering what all the commotion was about. So the adjutant has returned, and after the captain cried so hard to get you away from me, you lack a sense of reverence for life. How very sinful. Okyu. Okyo. Escaped again. Ah, my eyes, they're so dry. My eyes dry out when I look upon the sinners for too long. So I guess you knew about everything with your mother, yes. Your Zanpakuto Kyokotsu. This entire time, man, I'm no match for you. Alright, then I'll give you it back. Your Zanpakuto Kyokotsu. I guess he shot late that time. I guess he shot late. That's what happened. Wake up, Shunsui-san. Oh, prepare for the worst plot convenience out of nowhere. Mugfin and plot devices ever made in a story. Any amount of finite speed is still an infinite amount away from an infinite. Either he's infinite speed or he's not. Doesn't matter, whatever you think, either Kubo is inconsistent or Shunsui Evans. I win regardless, like I've always had won. Bleach is just a game right now. If that upsets you. Bleach is just its game. So right now, sorry if that upsets you. It doesn't upset me. I don't know about you winning. I don't know what you won, but if you want to convince yourself that you won anything, that's fine. You're more than welcome to believe that. I distinctly remember everyone complaining about Bleach's ending, even diehard fans. How is the Clorox consumption? I'm dying little by little every day. You know what would have been really funny? If I, did a face reveal cam? If I did, a face reveal cam where I had, an actual bottle of, an actual bottle. I obviously take out, the label from it. I take out the label. I clean it out very well. I probably boil the bottle just to make sure there's nothing inside of it. And then I fill it up with water as, a giant jug. And then I just do a face reveal stream where I'm just constantly drinking from this jug saying, oh yeah, this is, and I just put the bleach fucking, I get what do you call it? The, bleach, the bleach title, the title screen. I just put that shit right on the bottle. Meme Bleach winning, but in third place. I hate this plot convenience so much. It's so terrible and lazy and absolutely so dumb. Kubo ever pulled last minute with no foreshadowing or proper organic buildup. You know what really pisses me off? Let's just go back real quick. Here you go. Lily Barrow. Why did this have to be the case, right? This whole little plot thing of Lily Barrow essentially having attacks pass through him and essentially having his third eye or whatever. I feel like we could have had something cool here if instead of Lily Barrow having the ability to phase through attacks and things can't hurt him or whatever, if Kubo just had him use his Volstendig and his body healed from that. I think that would have been much better, because that way he wouldn't have had to have made this whole plot related topic. They're gone. Where are they hiding? And then he becomes an owl thing and his eyes move around. What do we have here? Is this it? I see. So Kage only allows you to stay within a shadow for this long. In that case, what would happen if I were to eliminate the shadow from the ground like this? And then she just pops right out of it? Why did she pop out of... Why did she pop out of... Where is the shadow coming from here? I guess it's because he has a shadow coming in from the bottom. Okay, that's fine. I don't know what emu scales to. I really need you guys to stop asking me questions about where characters scale at when they have like next to nothing to go off of yet. By Asta, my immeasurable speed go. Type shit, Six. Keep speaking your truth. Kizaru versus Kenpachi is another debate. I don't think Kenpachi has any weight of hurting Kizaru. I genuinely do not think. Not even really assume the best team that's really amount. Man's gonna waste an entire thing of bleach for a meme, and I'm here for it. Really gaslighting themselves that they're winning. I don't know, man. They could do that. They're more than welcome to do that. As long as they're not insulting anybody on the stream or me, I think it's fine. Leibaru's normal attacks were infinitely more stronger than his light-based angel form thing. Yeah. I mean, it's really not about me. I debunked you and conceded. Ilio Barrio is a Logia upscale. Kizaru stocks her up. That's what I'm saying. What do you mean? I know that Katen Kyokotsu is divided into Katen and Kyokotsu, but Kyokotsu is my Zanpakuto? Yes, but I wouldn't be exactly right to put it so simply. Ohana gave birth to Okio in order to hide your Zanpakuto at your mother's behest. Why would she do that? Honestly, I'm starting to get really tired of Kubo's style. It feels like I'm seeing the same character uniforms and faces. Yeah, it doesn't help when every single character has very similar faces. And here goes Kubo gaslighting readers as making it seem like this divine Zanpakuto is something he always had in plan and expects the user to accept it like he's a genius and whatnot. What are you saying? Kenpachi loses to Kizaru 1v1? Yes, I do. How does he hurt Kizaru? When has Kenpachi ever damaged light? I put immeasurable speed meta and Black Clover skins if you want to look at it. I'm not going to look at it today because I'm probably going to have to step out like in an hour. I'm trying to see if I can maybe catch up with somebody today, but I don't think I'm going to have the chance. The Issei clan is matrilineal. They've been only female births for as long as there's been a record, so they've always brought in husbands from other families into the clan. But it's said that any man who joins the Issei clan will die an early death due to the Issei curse. Why is there an Issei curse? Can somebody explain that? Is that ever fleshed out? Is the Issei clan flesh curse thing ever explained? No, it's not. There are those who think of the idea of the curse, Issei, foolish. The curse is foolish, but your mother wasn't one of them. She wanted to end the legend, so she resolved to end the Issei bloodline and married into another family. But as fate would have it, her husband passed away shortly thereafter. She was my older brother's wife. Okay. I didn't get along with my older brother very well, but things changed after your mother came, and his house became a pretty pleasant place. I always went there to hang out and nap on the Verdana or whatever, but then my brother died. Once the husband dies, it's fairly common for the nobles to cut all ties with the wife who married into the family and send her family back to her original family. So your mother went back to the Issei clan. That's right, your mother was resolved to abandon her family. In the end, she couldn't escape from it. So an Issei woman cannot escape from her clan, nor the curse after all. Perhaps the reason for that lies within this sword. She was desperate to release her as of yet unborn daughter from the curse. I took the sword and had Okio hide it, since she loves to play hide and go seek. Okay. So you can emerge from such tiny shadows. Okay. You don't want to give me this sword. I know that. And that it's for my own good. But as my mother decided to abandon the curse of her own free will, I've decided to accept the curse of my own free will. And even if I do accept the curse, I just get the feeling that the man I admire is the kind of person who will laugh off the curse as foolish. The man I admire is the kind of person who would laugh off the curse as foolish? Is she talking about Shunsui? Because it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Alright, I'll give it to you. With this sword, I'm sure. Now that I've gotten a good look at you, I see only the adjutant has emerged. Does this mean that she intends to fight me alone? The Issei clan is a long line of priests. Why do Soul Reapers need priests? What the fuck is the point? They oversee rituals and do not possess individuals Zanpakutos. That's kind of crazy for me to find out 651 chapters that the Soul Society had priests for whatever reason. Instead, the head of the family in every generation inherits a Zinkel Zanpakuto. It is a ceremonial sword with no edge, and thus it cannot kill. It is said that the sword has the power to oppose gods, absorbing their power and scattering it far and wide, and its name is... And it's named... Oh wait, I downloaded that twice. Shinken Hakyouken. Hakyouken! 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 Shinken Wudabutawa! Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku! Shinken Hakyouken! Hakyouken! I don't know. This is just a Street Fighter move. What is this sword of yours? It shines with a vulgar brightness. It's so bright I can't even see the blade. It's hideous. Is that so good? The sword opposes gods and reflects their powers. If it appears to your eyes to be shining, then it means it's scattering the divine light you emit. Why the fuck would you say that? I have no idea what you're talking about, but it certainly doesn't feel bad to be called a god. So he just became a god? Okay. What are the... Can somebody explain to me what... Can somebody please explain to me what exactly are the metrics by which something... Ain't that crazy? A fodder chick has a sword that kills gods and it wasn't used against Yuhabaha. Yeah, that's weird. Also, what exactly confines the metrics of a god in Bleach? What makes you a god in Bleach? Because all this guy did was receive a shrift from Yuhabaha. What exactly about it turned him into a god? What are the prerequisites? Do you have to look like a biblically accurate angel? Is that what it is? I can't take something that precious from you. It only exerts influence over those of the Issei clan. No misfortune will befall you merely for possessing it. You are the only person outside of the Issei clan whom I can defend upon. So please, the first thing I noticed was the hairpins. Hey, check that guy out. I hear he's a captain of the Gotei 13. They say he's here to see the headmaster. After hearing that exchange, I looked at you back from far away, and I saw a very conspicuous woman's kimono draped over your shoulders. It was a pattern you could find anywhere. And I thought to myself, Mom used to have one just like that, just like it, and left it at that. But those hairpins, they looked exactly like my mother. Ooh, you got Squad 1, nice. I got Squad 5, isn't that Vice Captain Eisen so cool? But their captain's a weirdo. He's got long hair. You're just saying that because he's not your type. Ha ha ha. Squad 8, you made it into the Gotei 13. Oh, you made it into the Gotei 13. That's amazing. Becoming a squad member at such a young age. You're really something now, Chan. Shortly after my mother died, I was taken in by an old couple whom I'd never seen before. We're gonna have to celebrate today. Supposedly they were related to the Issei. Still, the two of them took care of me as if I were their own daughter. And after I entered the Spiritual Art Academy, I was issued as Asauchi, but I wasn't able to make it my own. My natural talent for Kido, however, was recognized, and I was able to take the squad entrance exams early. Being without a Zanpakuto, I figured I could probably make it in the Kido Corps and submitted requests for the assignment. But for some reason, I was assigned to Squad 8. Good afternoon. I'm your captain, Kyorako Shunsui. Ah, it's him. I go easy on the girls, so relax. The guy with the gear pin. And I'm just like this with the guys. And when I say, after you join Squad 8, yeah, you change your kimonos and then taking the hairpins out. Okay. It was then that I knew without a shadow of a doubt that this man that my mom gave something precious to back then, right? Did you attempt to cut me with that sword? Do very well. Go ahead and try. There is no sword that can cut. Impossible. Wow. He defended? He should have been completely off guard. I was thinking about the strangeness of that sword, but then I got a good look and I saw it doesn't even have a blade. Actually, attacking someone with a sword like that is a clear sign that it's dangerous. Yeah, so you didn't have to explain why his powers were like that. To think that you could really cut my body, but that is as far as you're going to get. You should have made sure your last attack killed me. An emissary of God will not be caught off guard a second time. I blamed myself. The death penalty? Yes, apparently Central 46 found her guilty of losing a sacred treasure. It seems her execution was carried out. What the fuck is the point of Central 46, man? It seems her execution was carried out yesterday. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have said anything after all. Not at all. I'm glad I was able to get the news quickly. Thanks. It's my fault. Why? Why does everyone entrust me with things they value the most die? I'm not even any good at dealing with heavy stuff. No, Chan. I can't let you. I can't ever take that sword back. No, Chan. Take this weight off my shoulder. Let me protect you. Here we go, Nano-chan. Okay. Huh? You're only gonna use one? Why? You take the other one. It gives me the strength to know that there is an object shared between us when you're away from me, purging hollows. Pooh. What's that look for? Ouch! Why don't you go home and study or something, dumbass? Hey bro, you're really mellowed out. I don't think so. If I seem to have mellowed out, then that's probably because her kindness is making it appear that way. This is a cute little thing. I will say this is a cute little thing. All things considered, is a somewhat convenient bureaucratic excuse for Kuroba to call out things that he doesn't want to happen in the story. Yeah. And Shuzo defends the very institution that executed his crush/best friend for losing their so-called sacred treasure bullcrap. Yep. And did they need it? Like, they killed her, but did it ever really come up that they needed that thing? That quote-unquote sacred treasure? Like, that's so stupid, dude. That's so fucking dumb, man. No idea that picking up a sword and fighting would be this scary. Yeah. And yet you're fighting a top-tier level opponent. I've been cut. It might have been that light that just got deflected. This pain, it hurts. So this is how badly it hurts when you get cut. It hurts. I'm scared. My legs won't move. Captain? So you've shown yourself. How unbelievable, joining the battle from behind your subordinate. Let me see that again. Ah, okay, it's this moment right here. Okay, I get it. Hear my trumpet and perish. Yeah. How unbelievable, subordinates. What an awful captain. Hear my trumpet and perish. No, here we go. It'll be okay. I'll be behind you, supporting you, yes. It's as though his kindness is flowing into me. I came back here intending to support him, but in the end, I'm the one being supported. I can't stand on my own, so he's always supported me. And then he blasts. Cool. Yes, I see. You were saying something about repelling the power of God. To repel the power of God? That is such a grievous sin. I can't properly comprehend what the fuck just happened. Let me. How the Bleach anime saved Squad Zero. Also, Ichibe is terrifying. Yeah, sure. Hey, Eon, love your bids and your video on Gojo vs. Fight Card really got me thinking. Can Gojo take down characters like Johnny Joestar? Also, I hear a cool matchup. I'll check that out later. Let me read this. Oh, that'd be cool if you do a video cover some JoJo scaling. I do want to go into JoJo. Okay. You're hate bandwagoning? Is it really hate bang? I hate. Okay, you know what? I see where 6 comes from when he says that kind of stuff. You know what? I get where you're coming from, 6. I hate this idea of like, oh, you're on the hate bandwagon. All you do is hate everything. Oh man, you're just people that just can't agree to anything. So you just think that something's bad, so you just jump on the bandwagon for no reason. Lily Barrow versus Nanao. Wait, no. Let me type this in. Nanao beats Lily Barrow. Like, I can't just have the opinion that it's bad. Is it really me just jumping into a hate bandwagon if I of my own free will I decide I don't like this. Let's check this out real quick. Okay, I don't care about any of this. Shut up. Okay. I'm gonna dude, I hate this I I hate you, YouTube. Why the fuck did you fuck with... Yeah, okay, let me look this up real quick. This pisses me off. YouTube playback speed gone. It seems I can't change the playback. It just says custom. Also, shift plus, shift nothing. Also not working. They can't. Happened to me yesterday. I swear the playback speed is a premium feature, so I turned off ad block, and now it's working. Yeah, but I don't have ad block on my phone, so why the fuck doesn't it work? I don't even know my ad block is on for the site. After turning it off, it's fixed. Okay, so I have to turn off my ad block. Sure. Pause on this site. Can I change it now? Now it's on. What the fuck? Ah, there we go. Alright, we're gonna go like a ×2 speed. I'm gonna remove all the sound, and I'm just gonna skip ahead. Okay. I just need to skip ahead to like this point right here. Alright, don't worry. I have your back. Yada, yada, yada. He blasts. You did say it could reflect a god's powers. That sucked. That was terrible. Wow. All she did was just hold it up. So you're telling me. So you're telling me all this bitch did was hold it up? I don't know, man. YouTube probably hates me. YouTube probably thinks I'm a piece of shit. That's fine. It's not the first one, too. Oh, man. Dude, that was so terrible. You're telling me all she had to do was just... Was just put up... Just hold it up? Put her hand behind the blade. Or I guess the flat edge. And then he just died. Dude, this is peak to people. So I'm just trying to go against the crowd. What has the crowd been telling me? Because everybody here is agreeing with me that Bleach is bad. You're the only one here that's being a contrarian. I don't even know why. Like, here's the thing, dude. You're more than welcome to stay, but I don't know why you're here if I just keep talking shit about Bleach and you're not really doing an even remotely good job at defending it. like, it's not even for me to be mean. It's just, I'm going to keep talking shit because the series keeps giving me reasons to talk shit. I brought up pretty fair criticisms all around. And if the only thing you can say is lies, you're a contrarian, you're on the hate bandwagon, why are you here? Like, you don't, like, Kubo's not gonna go into your house. He's not gonna knock on your door and shake your hand saying, man, listen, I've been hearing that Eon guy talk shit about me. Talking shit about me for weeks now. You've honestly been doing God's work here. He's wrong. We both know it. But hey, like, Kuba's not gonna be your best friend because you're defending it. Like, nobody's gonna give you a prize for it. I don't know, man. Just feels weird. Let's be real. Kubo had no organic, natural plan to defeat Lily Barrow. He had no natural plan to defeat half of the characters in his fucking roster. All right, but that's enough. Nobody needs to like comment anymore. Stop commenting on the stuff, guys. We're fine. We're fine. It's just, I'm just saying though, like we don't need to jump on anybody. We don't need to say anything. I'm just being honest here. Like, if I'm not here to sugarcoat the things I'm going to say for Bleach. Sometimes I do sugarcoat, sometimes I don't. But I'm not here to sugarcoat the stuff that I think on Bleach because I've given this series 654 chapters worth of my life. And it's done nothing, and it's done quite literally nothing but make me more and more frustrated. There are bad moments. There are moments of terrible writing, terrible execution, terrible character portrayal, terrible... just a lot of shit, man. Like, it's not a hate bandwagon. It's literally a conclusion that I reached on my own when I was reading through it while not having a conversation with anybody but my mods. Back in the summer when I started reading through this 10 chapters a day. Like, I just came into chats with them and I was just like, dude, is it me or like the first fucking set of chapters, like some things just don't make sense, or like I'm just not meant to care because as soon as we got to Soul Society, Ichigo was just winning out of nowhere? I'm sorry if Kubo wasn't in 100%. You don't have to apologize, though. You don't have to apologize. Bed? What does the bed emoji mean? I guess, okay. How about we go now, run after everybody else? Whoa, 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 Captain. Aw, damn. Guess we'll do it after we've had a little rest. Yeah, we can move on from it. That's basically it. What is this rain down upon us? Oh my, what are they doing? It seems that they have died down. What the heck is happening? Hey, look over there. What's this? And like these people just, what the fuck? Oh, look over there. What's that over there? Right now, right where one of those lights invaded. I saw something weird shining then. Come on now. Oh, he just got blasted. The pain is incredible. My Heiligen shine is gone to fall from the heavens and lose my halo. Why is it also as if I have become a sinner myself? Okay. I will not forgive you, Kurako Shunsui. Even your death will not be enough to satisfy me. Though my Heiling shine may be gone and my divine powers alongside it, I do not care, for even without divine powers, I will be quite capable of stomping all over the Soul Society you so long to protect until it turns to dirt beneath my feet. What the heck are these things? It's crazy that a bunch of like long-necked, long-legged chicken bird motherfuckers are just stomping out the Soul Society. Oh, that's where this guy shows in. That's why you killed him. You killed him. What noisy screeches these birds are made of. It's an awful sound. Echoes right through my hole. Wow, what a cool moment. Remember Hisagi, the guy that got taken out at the start of the 1,000-Year Blood War? Oh man, he looks so crazy. And all he's good for is taking down a bunch of bird fuckers. That's so cool. Rating about how random chatter is pressing him, about hating for hating. Alright, that's enough. Is judging as he reads it. How much more honest can he be reading a manga as it's written? Yeah. Or it was just better written series overall. I agree with that. This fight feels like it should have ended a while ago. Like, genuinely, if Kubo was in 100% no sickness, everyone would switch up pathetically. It's so annoying watching you people hate Bleach when you have only seen one series and nothing else. I've seen Tiger and Bunny. Beelzebub anime. I've seen Beelzebub. I've seen let's see, what other series have I watched? I've seen Air Gear, Code Geass. I've seen what else? I've seen Card Fight Vanguard. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, 5Ds. Let's see, what else have I seen? Obviously, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. Let's see, I've seen Prison School, Fairy Tail. What else have I seen? Let's see. Oh, Death Note. Oh, Konosuba. Can't forget about Konosuba. High School Babysitters Club. Fucking goated. What else have I seen? Going back. Let me actually look up Crunchyroll real quick. Oh, I don't know if this would count as anime, but I've seen Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners. I've seen Restaurant from Another World. I've seen Restaurant from Another World. This one was pretty cute. I did like this series. This one was pretty cute. Kill la Kill. I've seen Kill a Kill. I've seen. What was the other one that had like. Oh, Akame ga Kill. I've seen everything in Attack on Titan besides the last 3 episodes, so I guess I can't count it. FMA Brotherhood. I've seen FMA Brotherhood. What else am I missing? Trigun. I did see portions of Triguns. You must be watching a bunch of random niche animes, huh, Eon? I've watched a lot of stuff in my time, especially when I was, like, in college and high school. I just watched, like, random shit. A bit of Gooner stuff, but it was 100% in line with what's about the story. You can argue these series aren't in the same genre like comedy, so that doesn't count. Oh, so you've only seen one anime, but now all of those series that you've brought up don't count? Alright, I've seen Dragon Ball. What about Dragon Ball? That's a shonen. Let me actually look up. I've seen JoJo's. That's a shonen. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventures parts 1 through 6, and I've read all of part 7 3 times. Man, it's almost as if I've seen anime, I've watched anime, and I've developed my opinions on anime for years and years and years of... this is another one. 7 Deadly Sins. Kuroko no Basket. I would throw in Haikyuu, but I couldn't get past Haikyuu. Kuroko no Basket. I could throw in Haikyuu, but I haven't seen Haikyuu past, like, the first season because it bored me to all hell. Blue Lock. Like, I've seen a lot of anime. What's your point here? Black Clover. I've also seen Black Clover. No, here's what the thing is like. The thing is like, you make these arguments that you try to convince yourself, that you make all of these arguments, or you try to make up all of these points just to try to convince yourself that everyone here that does not like Bleach has only ever seen one series, and that series is probably One Piece, or it's only Naruto. So he possibly couldn't even comprehend that another author can have different ways of writing their stories, or different ways of explaining certain scenarios, scenes, themes, so on and so forth, in order to try to establish the idea that we as a collective, not just me, but everyone here, we as a collective, just simply don't have either the brain cells or the capacity or even the notoriety or even just the time spent watching series in order to say that Bleach is bad, because we just don't have any other example. And yet once any of us, or most of us, or even myself, prove that we just have a bunch of random series that we've sat down to watch, whether for one reason or another, maybe it was just seemed nice, maybe it just seemed cool. Oh, here's another one. There's another just random series that I saw, Death Parade. One of the best fucking theme songs that I've ever seen in my life. The first Death Parade theme song, if just for the sake of watching the series, just check out the opening, that shit was a banger. I've seen a bunch of shit myself. I've seen shit that made me think about life, made me think about death, made me think about a bunch of different things. But the point here is, you simply have no point to bring up other than you people don't like Bleach, and you try to convince yourself. You try to actively convince yourself that it has to be XYZ reason, when the fact of the matter was, yo bro, we just don't like it. And that's fine. It's completely fine. Like I told you, why are you here if you are only consistently finding yourself be more frustrated, and then you have myself and other people in chat essentially calling you out and essentially saying, hey man, you're kind of not bringing up any actual points. You're just saying you're hating just to hate, or you guys just simply are glazing, or you guys just simply don't understand. That's a you problem. That is specifically a you problem that you might genuinely need to just work on, because if somebody doesn't like something that you like, that's completely fine. There are people out there, especially, for example, I'm in a Facebook group. There are people out there that say they don't get One Piece. And sometimes when they make up their points, I go into very in-depth explanations as to the things that they might have issues with. And I try to explain, you have an issue with, like, let's say, devil fruits not being that important after hockey was introduced? No, devil fruits are extremely prevalent. As a matter of fact, in the most recent arc, there is actually a devil fruit that Loki may potentially have that is extremely important to the plot as a whole, right? There are moments where people say the One Piece's world building makes no sense. And then I go into saying, no, the One Piece world building actually does make sense. And there are nations that consistently interact with one another, like in the Reverie, like in XYZ. Doflamingo has an entire set of, has an entire shipping system within the underground of Dressrosa where he sends out ships in order to bring in commerce back in for whether or not it's for the underground world. That's completely different. But the fact is, there is some level of trade between kingdoms, right? There are things that people can come at for One Piece or for Naruto or for any other series that if they simply did not pick up on these things, you can educate them by explaining them, by showing examples, parts of the story, so on and so forth. But if they simply say, well, I just don't like it, or I just don't care of it, or it just doesn't coincide with me, then at that point, the only thing I can tell is, well, you know what? That's fair. That's your opinion. And I can't do anything to change that. If somebody says they don't like One Piece, they don't like Naruto, they don't like Blue Lock, they don't like JJK. Oh, JJK, another series that I've seen. If somebody says those things, I don't sit here and say, Glaze, you're wrong. You only hate it because the author was sick. No, I just say, you know what, man, that's completely fair. I have no control over how you feel. I'm not here to make you feel any type of way. If you'd like to maybe give it another chance, I can probably tell you XYZ, try out maybe these things, maybe look at it from this other perspective. But never, oh, you're wrong, Glaze, you people just don't read stuff. You're lucky to know that you know what you're talking about, and I'm grateful that you're kind of pretty much right compared to you. Yep, there we go again. You have no point to stand upon, so you go on and say you're wrong. There you go. You really need to grow up, Sukuna-ish. You really do need to grow up, like as an adult. I don't know if you're an adult, I don't know if you're a teenager, but maybe if you're a teenager, maybe I can understand it a little bit more. If you're an adult, I just say you at that point, you just genuinely have to just grow up, dude. People aren't gonna like the same things you like, and that's completely fine. People are going to like things you don't like, and that's completely fine. It doesn't actually have any massive effect on how things go as a person. It just happens, and now all you can say is Glaze. If you're a child, I can kind of understand, and I just hope that as you grow older, you know, you might just come to understand that people's opinions really don't have any weight on how you choose to enjoy something. That's a thing that I feel like a lot of people have an issue with. If I talk bad about thing that I like, then it ruins my overall experience, or it's just hate bandwagon, so on and so forth. We've had these discussions. You're 21 right now. Your prefrontal cortex hasn't fully fucking developed then. And that's still completely fine. I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. You didn't need to tell me that you were 21. And don't get me wrong. Even when I was 21, I was still pretty childish about shit. It wasn't until I was like 25 or 26 when I really started to mature as an individual. Some people don't mature until they're 28, 39, 40, some shit, man. I don't fucking know. But hey, listen, it's all part of life. Some people are like that, some people are not. But bro listed high-rated anime and you say the list is trash. What's your cause? It's all an opinion. What, somebody's talking shit about the list I watched? Actually, I haven't even seen your guys' comments. Let's see. 100% sickness. Only ever seen bro sounds. Press is Kubo when people are criticizing a series. How many chapters are left? 54. We have 22 chapters left. 22. Bro, Sukuna chill. Even if Kubo was at 100%, I wouldn't save any because of how he writes. Bleach has good art and cool designs, but no one wants to admit that's all that they really like in the series, and so they try their heart out to act like the story's also a masterpiece. Like, sometimes the story can just be all flash, no substance, and that's completely okay, but at that point, just, it's more or less of a matter of just, like, it's okay. These series aren't the same genre. I've seen over 200 anime. It doesn't change the fact that Bleach is ass. By the way, Eon, I saw a video on a Bleach fan that does shorts on Bleach. He explained that this guy got revived in the novels by Kurotsuchi after dying by implanting a bunch of other no-name reapers. I don't know, man. If it happened in the novels, I couldn't give two fiddly fucks. It doesn't matter to me. Watched Bleach, had a good old time with it, and Bleach that was just boring after a while. Gurren Lagann? I've never seen Gurren Lagann. That's a series that I was thinking about maybe giving a look at. And you know what's crazy? Six is right. Prison School is really fucking funny. I think the first scene that I saw was the guy getting like stepped on really hard, and I thought that shit was hilarious. The only thing, it was actually very jarring to me when I found out when I was like around like 17 or 18 when I watched it. I was like, yo, this shit is kind of crazy, bruh. This shit is kind of crazy in terms of like, you know, all the goon bait shit, but it didn't stop me from enjoying it. Like, if you're gonna take like the whole like goon bait stuff as like part of like making the comedy or whatever of it, I'm fine with it. It's just when it like comes out of nowhere. I always thought about giving Fully Cooley and Trigun a full try. I did actually watch good portions of Trigun. I just never fully finished it. Funniest anime, try some sports anime. It's really good. I've seen a bit of Gooner stuff, but it was 100% in line. What's it about the story? You can argue they're not even the same genre. Tokyo. Oh, I tried giving Tokyo Ghoul, and I ended up giving Psycho Pass a bit of a try. Just not for me. So all of these are actions, comedy, dramas, and you're coping right now. Have you seen Berserker or Evangelion? The list does explain a lot. This is terrible. What does my list explain? I got some wholesome anime, I got some Gooner bait anime, I got some funny anime, I got some anime that are just straight up action. I just see variance there. And the novel I got revealed that Kurotsuchi revived him with the soul of a no-name Reapers plus enhancements in speed and strength. Cool. Senior Pink has better writing than all of Bleach's characters. Writing cold take in my opinion. That's pretty funny. I may have not liked the ending of Magi Labyrinth of Magic, but even after that, it wasn't as messy as the 1,000-Year Blood War. Death Parade is too depressing. Yeah, it was pretty fucking depressing. I was watching it at a time when I was pretty depressed myself, and I was just like lying in my parents' bed back in my home country. I was just like there, because that was the only room where I had like decent connection. But NGE is overrated. Besides the pseudo trauma exploration and China symbolism and multiple Gundams, I've been thinking about maybe giving a Gundam series a look at. I haven't sure like which series because I do love big. Oh, I love big bot animes, man. I love mechas. Saw this in one anime and I forgot what it was called. With a girl throw person and a serial killer with a scythe. Oh, that's another one. That's another one I've seen. Soul Eater. Soul Eater was pretty okay. Soul Eater was a pretty okay series. It was actually one of the first like real animes that I saw. They got me into it from like the test episode. It was so funny, dude. Adults either argue their case for why they're right or drop the matter because it's not worth the time. You'd argue like a 6-year-old. Yeah, probably. What is special about NGE? What I love about One Piece is how non-main character-centric the world is, and its islands remain important. Like Punk Hazard is still important as a location in both Egghead and Elbaf. Correct. It doesn't matter to you why you're even here. Yeah. Just wanted to say Toy Story has a more thematic depth than Bleach, or at the very least Toy Story fans did a much better job of conveying the thematic consistencies than I've seen in Bleach fans do. What's your thoughts on Magic? I don't like the art style. It's just not for me. Gurren Lagann is pretty buns. That's crazy. It's actually kind of similar to One Piece. It's really peak story writing, and watch it whenever you have the chance. I really struggle to watch anime, dude. I'm going to be real with you. My CR list is so backed. I could probably check out like my Crunchyroll list on my PlayStation to see like what I have it at. Iron Blood Orphans, canceling, Black Clover take. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's enough. I'm not even gonna read that page because I know he's just gonna go into the whole like miracle stuff. There was a phenomenon known as the miracle occurs. If a miracle were to occur to an ordinary moment, nobody would think of it as much. Oh, they were pretty lucky. Strange things happen. That's all they think. The hell are you going on about? Congratulations on injuring me so gravely that I might be expected from a captain class warrior of the Gote 13. A miracle is miraculous because it occurs when all seems lost. Captain. By the way, what has Byakuya done? Have you read or watched Death Note? I have watched it. I've never read it. Can I be honest with you guys? What has Byakuya done in the 1,000-Year Blood War? What did Byakuya do in the TYBW? It feels like Byakuya's done nothing. Confronts a Quincy, devastating defeat, intense fear. He later trains, regains his powers from Asnot. He also participates. So you're telling me that Byakuya... What did Byakuya do? I'm sitting here thinking to myself... Yo, I literally sitting here thinking to myself, like, Byakuya's done something in this fucking arc, right? Like, it's not just me, right? Like, the entire, actually, today, earlier, I was thinking to myself, like, when I was in the car with my mom running some errands, because she needed me to, like, help her bring some stuff around, and I'm like, okay, sure, we could do that. I was gonna carry them. I was gonna usually do errands myself on Mondays, but she likes doing stuff, so I'm like, okay, sure. So we go along. We go to like a pharmacy. We go to like a supermarket. We go do some some random stuff, and I'm literally thinking to myself the entire time when I'm thinking of like my argument for like Byakuya and everything. I'm just like, I mean, and then he kind of doesn't really do much until like the 1,000-Year Blood War, and I'm just like, wait, no, what is he? I'm 43 chapters away from finishing the series. What the fuck did Byakuya do? At the beginning, I wanted to thank millions of fans that were close and obsessed with Byakuya's character. Start sending Ubo death threats. You probably ruined the greatest moment in the arc. You're not a real fan, just the bobs. So we all know the controversial topic. Back in the day, the beginning of the fights, Asnot could tell that Byakuya planned to kill off one of the most iconic characters, a very important character in Bleach. I don't know about him being very important. I mean, I don't know about Byakuya being necessary to the plot of Bleach. If he died... It'd be sad. It'd be a crazy take, but like, cool, okay, and the rest of the story kind of doesn't change. Base living Elbak, Sup is... I was answering your question, Eon, since I know he's watched it, but I dropped it halfway through because I disliked Mikasa, or whatever her name is. Piccolo has to consistently aura farm because he is an aura adept after getting beaten in every fight. Type shit, man. Type shit. Not only he's dead could serve as an emotional development step to make Ruki and Renji stronger, but I also think it was the most useless and play a very almost non-existent role in the rest of the chapters. Author came to the idea of a magic spa that heals fatal wounds, only to remind you that Byakuya had his chest and stomach ripped out from his body and lost a hand. Yet we see previous events where strong characters died from a single stab or slash. Kubo tried to fix this, making him some sort of mentor for Rukia, but I think it failed miserably since the one that should teach Rukia to control her powers is herself, and that means her Zanpakuto Sode no Shirayuki. You could see when Byakuya alone beat 5 Stern Ridders with almost little or no effort, then we start to rush off to things, and we come off with the idea that a bullshit power-up from the Royal Castle to somehow justify his reveal, since he was a popular character in the magazine. We have some sort of proof that the character polls are screwing up with the story, since the mangaka fears to kill these characters. Just imagine how all of this fight with Asnot could go, with Rukia and Renji teaming up on him, fighting to that could also fix the Visor, since we could have even have beat Mask, making them joke characters. Couldn't even beat Mask, making them joke characters. Why not let the Visors fight Akutrone, or give some to Nanana? They were wasted on undeveloped characters with such as their potential opponents for the Visors. So many things were badly designed and simply lacks logic, especially in the second division. That was when it all goes downhill. There was no sense of a threat after all. If anyone can be magically healed, and some can't. Rip Yachiro Unohana. You don't get me wrong, I like Byakuya, but I start to dislike him automatically after all that fiasco, since the events just ruined his character and his potential towards the others. All people talk about the ending and the ship. But that aside, we can't forget the bad things that happened in the middle, ruining potential of this arc, yada yada yada, suffocated at the end, yada, yada. We made popular characters like Kenpachi, Byakuya, Hitsugaya. With the upcoming anime adaptation, do you think they could fix this, or are they just rather stay true to the source material, maybe expand on the fights that looked like rushed crap? Pretty sure Kubo said that the only time he was going to kill off a character was when he changed his mind with Grimmjow. He was lying through his teeth. And not is up to debate, I suppose, but either way, they were correct. Here's a summary of the interview. Here's a summary of what interview? Sadly, nothing? Fuck me, dude. I'm not salty. We have some sort of proof that popular character... Bullshit. Ukiura wasn't revived in any way, shape, or form, despite there's actual out of the people were being insanely mad that he was killed. Ergo, a massive 1-star rating, many threats, and I hate comments from Bollywood 41. Note that these reviews were made in real time decades ago. On the other hand... We're fine, no big outrage, there's no coming back from that death, he couldn't heal, and I'm not saying Kubo didn't try to kill off popular characters, he forced to write. Good one. Is this a millionth Yakuya should have died post? Why are you so obsessed with character deaths? Yeah, I don't get the point of character deaths, I'm fine with him staying alive, it's just have him do something. Honest answer, Yakuya doesn't do anything important. Okay. Damn. Rukia gliding Askin's fear and fighting Gerard alongside Toshiro and Zaraki ended up being inconclusive, and we would have still have been the same whether Byakuya was there or not in that fight. Gerard here was the problem, not any of the protagonists. There is nothing Byakuya does the whole arc that warrants his post. His role is neither too big, Mayuri, Kurotsuchi, Shunsui, or too small, the Visors. He still interacts with and inspires character and is meant to. I mean, Rukia really, and his role is not enough to destroy the arc. Also, saying Kubo wants to kill him off is simply fanfiction. Popularity destroyed the arc. He wasn't dead. Okay, yeah. This is ass. This is absolute dog shit. What, was it really necessary to go this far? You dumbass, that guy had another trick up his sleeve, and the way he was talking, it was a big trip to bring him back. You think he could have... yeah. He could turn around the whole thing in one shot. After he'd seen everything we'd got. If we didn't go this far, there's no telling what might have happened. They should have just wiped out his entire body. Ain't that right, Captain Kuchiki? Let us move on. He doesn't take any chances, that guy. Scary guy. If you want an honest reaction, look up posts from way back when Bleach ended. I'm not going all the way back, dude. You can send me a link if you want. What the, is this a foot? Oh no, he very, very big. Guys, over here, he is very, very big. This guy, Gerald Valkyrie. Oi, my name is Gerard Valkyrie. What the hell is going on? My name is Gerard Valkyrie. My shrift is M. Gerard the Miracle. My power is to exchange anything damaged with a replacement the size of a god. Oi, Joyce. Call me Joyce, and this is my Big Bang Buster. Most boring character at TYBW. Let me say this once more. Congratulations on injuring me so gravely, as might be expected from Captain Class Warriors of the Gotei 13. For this, I have grown to a greater size, man. Than ever before. Well, I like this voice more for him. The voice fits so well. Also, why is Momo here? Why is this fucking bitch here? She doesn't do anything. Trust me, I could do a fucking 4 Kids dub for Bleach. Hinamori, Captain Hirako. Captain, brother. Powerless. You are powerless. So terrifying it must be to be powerless. But do not cry in anguish, for no matter how much you cry out, no miracle will save you. A British accent is usually fitting for most Bleach fans. Dude, I'm having a blast with this now. So even Gerard has gone and used his shrift now. Well, with even Lille-san... Wait, no, I need something else. For Lily Barrow... No, sorry, for Gerard, that's gonna be the accent. They send in someone like Momo to face a giant singing voice Scottish man. Also, how the heck do these powers get decided? Why not give all the Quincy's OP powers or whatever? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, one bitch gets the power to turn things into... One bitch gets power to turn things into guns, but you're telling me out here that... Oh no, I can't do the British accent right now. I need to do... I can do a better Irish accent than I can do a Scottish accent. I can do a better Irish accent, in my opinion. Okay. So what's this guy's accent? Guys, what should Askin's accent be? You know what? I'll make his the British accent. So even Gerard has gone and used his shrift now. Well, even Lille-san taken out, I guess it's only natural. Though, of course, if I have my doubts whether that guy will even notice that Lille-san's been defeated. Momo is moral support. No, I don't want to do a French accent. Let me try. Maybe I should have taken this opportunity to fill you in on a little on the Schutzstaffel. The leader of the Schutzstaffel is Lille-san. He was the first Quincy ever to be granted a shift by His Majesty. None can argue this position. But the two remaining members of the Schutzstaffel, Pernida-san and Gerard, are Quincy's who were never granted powers by His Majesty. They had their own powers already before His Majesty had a chance to grant them any. Those are the only two Quincy's within the whole Sternritter whose shrift is merely a name given by His Majesty to the powers they already possess. The accent is best to do with Skelligan from Witcher 3. Skelligan? I don't know who that is. I never played Witcher, dude. Dude, that's an Aussie accent. I know. Give Ichigo a Brooklyn accent like, yo, we wheel it. I got you. I'll give Ichigo a Brooklyn accent. Sound French or German accent? It's I'd say more French. Should Askin be Italian? So there is no end to the rumors, but who or what those really are? I've heard the tales that Pernida-san is actually the Spirit King's left arm. Aussie and British, what's the issue? And Gerard's son is the Spirit King's heart. And Gerard's son is the Spirit King's heart. Now, I don't know all of the nonsense about the Spirit King coming from when they're both clearly Quincy's, but having witnessed their outrageous powers, I can see why people would want to compare them to something so out of there. Oh, they're Vikings? Cool. Don't you agree, Kichigo? Oh, wait. I guess you can't hear me anymore. The Israeli accent, hell no. You want me to do I can do a Middle Eastern accent. Kurosaki-kun. Stay back. Brasso derecho. You guys think that this will get me canceled? I don't want me to do these acts and then for me to get canceled later on. I hope that people understand I'm not doing these to be offensive to anybody. If anybody finds it offensive, that's not the intent. I'm just doing it because I'm kind of bored of reading Bleach. It's the main great quest. It's a great in the main quest, and then it's just boring. Cajun accent? I really don't know how to do a Cajun accent too well. I can do more or less a cowboy accent. What is this? I can't. Oh wait, I can do a Mexican accent. What is this? Essay? I'm Hispanic. Listen, man, I'm Hispanic. I can do Spanish accents. All right, that one I can't be offensive for. Who cares if the French are offended? I don't know, man. I like the French. You can understand, right? Gift bed. Anyone who steps into the pool of mine, though they won't outright die, will have their resilience to something of my choosing severely reduced. My choice this time was spirit particles. In order right now, you're being exposed to the high spirit particles density here in the Varvelt, to the point that it is poisoning you. Spirit particle poisoning? Spirit particle poisoning, man. What are you talking about? Yes. My ability is all about little doses. Normally, I use it to manipulate the little dose of substances and of my choosing, killing off my enemies. But to do that, I have to take large quantities of the substance into my own body. Like if I want to use blood, I have to drink tons of it. But right now, I've drank a lot of cafe, and I'm kind of feeling bloated. So until I get thirsty again, I'd like you to wait here a little while. Would Dutch from Red Dead Redemption be a good voice for someone? Dutch. I never played Red Dead Redemption. Chad has Ichigo watching him, which means he can't lose right now. Yo, can we talk about the fact that this is the first time I've ever seen Chad even try to do an attack in the fucking 1,000-year blood war, just for him to end up doing nothing, bro? What the fuck? That's an awfully strange request to make. If your enemies are immobilized, why don't you just wring their neck out? Are you serious? Bambi asked me the same thing a long time ago. It creeped me out then, and it's creeping me out again. Haven't you ever heard of something called delicacy? When does the highlight of Yukabara and Ichigo with Yukabara happen? Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, where is Ichigo's dad, right? Like, why does he need to be home for? I think Yuzu and what the fuck her other name is, Marin, or whatever the fuck Ichigo's sisters' names are. Karin and Yuzu, right? Something like that. Aren't they like home alone? The Virgin Chad? Aulat. Ole, the way it's pronounced. Oh, Ole. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, I don't think I want to do the Middle Eastern accents right now. If Terrence Crawford was a Quincy, Chad would be cooked. Who the fuck is Terrence Crawford? Hey, what's up, Six? What is this? Wait. What is this delicacy of which you speak? Is that what you call it when you underestimate your foes? Not exactly. It's about defeating an enemy in my own style. My style of fighting is to rely on little doses. Walking up and strangling people sounds like a job left to ladies like yourself and Bambi. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. I can say I'm familiar with Bambi girl, but I presume you're saying it's a method for stunning beauties. I won't deny that both of you and Bambi are very attractive, but a woman's wealth isn't in her face, it's in her fashion sense. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that sound. That's actually very offensive. I feel bad about that one. Ichigo's dad can spend time to fight Aizen all day, but he doesn't have time to fight Yukabara and his top tier stern raiders. That's crazy. He's the guy who beat the Mexican wrestler Camelo. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So he shoots 2 arrows, she attacks, grabs, throws them back, attacks. I'm sorry to have, you seem to have quite a little fun there, fellow. You seem like quite a fun fellow, but we're in a hurry right now, you see. We must be on our way. Shunko, Raijin Senke. Oh, take care, man. I'm going to fuck you up with my Shunko, Raijin Senke. Here's a lightning blast, man. Big electricity. I can power a whole power plant with this, man. That's okay about it. The voice and tone is okay. Yeah, like, I'm not... I don't know, man. This is so stupid. Get ready for the best fucking fight in all of Bleach, guys. Shunko! Raijin Senke! Oh, look, she's destroying all these buildings, man. You heal yourself first. Then we settle things down. Heal Ichigo and Sado over there. What about you? What about you, Yoruichi-san? What about you, Yoruichi-san? Don't worry. I'll be along after I get confirmation on his corpse. Don't worry about me, man. You should have become a voice actor, Yon. I should try it out. Nesama. Gotcha. Okay, you win. What are you doing here, Yushiro? You're supposed to be with Kisuke's group, man. What are you doing here, man? Is this one of Yoruichi turns into Lightning Cat? Yeah. But there are so many captains and vice captains over there. So I made a long trek over here because I thought that being with brother and sister and all, I should help out. Oh, help me? Help me? Yushiro, it seems you have grown quite a deal stronger in the short time since I last saw you. I sure have. I'm glad you noticed, Yoruichi-sama. Thank you, big sis. I love you, man. I appreciate it. I've been running around laps all day, man. That's right. He's too dense for sarcasm to have any effect on him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next, okay. Enough with the sad stories. Seems you haven't really been listening. Just because a child is crying doesn't mean there's a sad story. Oh, really? Well then, enough with the not too sad stories. Recovered enough to stand up. Quick as always, I see. I assume you've heard everything, so go up ahead. I'll catch up soon. Got it. Be careful, Yoruichi-san. Hey, Gabagoots. What are you doing here? Yoruichi gets a bullshit transformation, then loses, then Kisuke takes over and only wins with a Grimjow snake. You want me to tell you? Actually, listen, I'm gonna rant. We're gonna get to at least the Kisuke Urahara fight, and I'm probably gonna end it there before I head out. But I'm gonna crash out about something, and I need you guys to understand where I'm coming from with this. Who do you think you're talking to? There isn't a chance in hell that I'll lose. Famous last words. Famous last words made by Yoruichi Shioin. They got past me. His Royal Majesty really gonna let me have it later. Don't worry, he won't be angry with you because we're going to take you and Yuhabaha out. What? It's the rising, whatever the hell it was that you said earlier. You should know that's not going to happen. Hapong. It's Raijin Senke. Make fun of my sister and you'll have to face me. Oh, you any good little girl? Just to let you know, I'm going to use my bow even if you're barehanded. I'm a boy. Oh, I'm sorry about it. Oh shit. Yeah, punch in the face really hard. Hold on. What the hell are you fucking strong? Of course I am. I am Shioi Yoshiro Sakamune, 33 heart of the Shihoin clan. I will not be defeated by a mere Quincy. Shunko. Bakuen Muso, man. Take this, man. I'm gonna hurt you up, man. I'm gonna fuck you up for talking bad about my sister, man. That is a JoJo character with how he acts and moves. Type shit. Oh, man. Let me stretch real quick because I'm really gonna crash out after I get to this point. Damn, way to go overboard. How would you have turned out had I not beaten him up beforehand? I'm sorry, sis. Still, considering I just taught you Shunko, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to praise you for having mastered it to such a degree. You just taught him that and it's that strong already? Oh, come on now. What's to look for? You heard me right. You heard me before. Right? I controlled a lethal dose by taking a large amount of the designated substance into my body. Thanks for pumping enough of your Reiatsu into me to kill me. Now you can't use it to kill me anymore. What an annoying ass ability. I like the fact that I'm referring to the biggest threats of Bleach as that guy. Yeah. Oh, hello. Thanks. Your Reiatsu won't be able to kill me anymore. Hello. You guys have seen Smiling Friends? Isn't Yoruichi a male cat? Is the rest of her family also cats? I think that's just something she can turn herself into, dude. Your wounds are healed? Well, of course. If the lethal dose increases, that means I've developed an immunity to it. But do you really have the time to act all shocked? If you don't hurry soon, not only will you be able to unkill me, you won't even be able to wound me in the slightest bit. Shunko? Wait, Yushiro! Boom. You don't get it, do you? I've already experienced that once. Which means I'm already immune. It's too late. Looks like you were too slow at comprehending my ability. Effet terror. What the hell the hell kind of monster is this guy? Hey, the hell kind of monster is this guy? He's taking out everyone. I'm afraid I don't have an answer to that question. This is child's play, man. This is complete child's play, man. I hate all of this, man. Alas, it seems that even the captain level Shinigami of the Kote 13 are powerless before my miraculous power. Even the Ryatsu is so tiny, I can scarcely sense it. Must I pick them out amongst this rubble and kill them one by one in this titanic form? How bothersome. It is attempting to crush ants in the sand. A near impossible task, man. I hate this, man. But that is precisely why I will not fail, man. Do you think I would not find it because it is impossible, man? Achieving the impossible is what miracles are for, man. We only just met and you're spouting some kind of crap about miracles. Hope you're not expecting us to have a clue of what you're talking about, knucklehead. My head is bears no knuckles, man. What are you talking about, man? I take offense to that. What kind of retort is that? Lighten up a bit. Oh man, she can fire a fucking Cero? She can fire a triple Cero? Why didn't any of the Visored captains do that? Do you really expect such an attack to strike me? Can't say I did. Not on my own, that is. Chocolate bar sliders, Hifuki no Kozuchi, 21 Joe Tonbo Kudari. Cool. We blasted you, man. And we didn't even hurt me, man. You guys did nothing here, man. Kubo could have written a way better way for bro to lose, but just couldn't. That's what I'm saying. Oh, don't forget your art is Scottish. All right. Dear me, at this rate. Oh wait, I got you. Dear me, at this rate, this is never going to end. This is never going to end. I know. I'll just have to take down this whole area with them still in it. Oh, crazy. Hey, from the looks of your Reiatsu, it would appear that Kiyoraku and the other number lieutenants are still around that area. Cowabunga, dude. I'm afraid I can't allow you to destroy, remain. Frozen here for all eternity, man. Hey, man, I'm trying out here, dude. Alright. Oh, and who might you be? Oi, and who might you be? Okay, I think I'm starting to get the accent down. I love these Japanese characters have Brooklyn and Mexican accents for some reason. What accent did you give Yukabag? I'll probably give him a fucking German accent. Captain of the Gote 13, Toshiro Hitsugaya. And you'd be best to remember that, man. Okay. I say, I'm Gerard Valkyrie. I am Stunritter Sustafel. And I'm gonna fuck you up, you little bastard. Let me smash this ice. It is a pleasure, friend. Get out of my swamp. Dude, I'm having so much fun talking in this language, man. Talking to these accents. Sorry, dude. Sorry. But I'm not here to make friends. Bankai. Now give him a real country accent for no reason. Wait, what if I make him sound like what's that guy? What's that fucking dude? Not Willem Dafoe. Who the fuck was the dude? Hey, he talks like this. Oh no. Something like that. Technically all these guys are German in nature, so they can all should be German type shit. No, you're 100% right about that, Lord IMAX. Gerard. Cowabunga it is then. Daigirin Hirimaru, dude. Alright, little bro. I'm gonna freeze you up, bro, because I'm cool as a cucumber. Christopher Walken, there we go. There we go. Why was we talk like this? How about a Mandarin accent? I think that'll be a little too offensive on my end if I do that. Because I don't know how to, like, do it without, like, really exaggerating it. And I only say that because of, and I only really say that, oh, Steve Buscemi. I think you're thinking of Steve Buscemi. Oh, no, I think I'm thinking of Christopher Walken. I don't want to do a Mandarin accent, because, like, the only accent I can really think of is the one from Cherish from the Great British Baking Professionals, but I really do like her. And the only other thing I can think about when I make like an Asian accent is like the South Park ones, and I think I will absolutely get fucking I think I'll actually get like canceled if I do that one, because like South Park the South Park Asian accents are kind of crazy. I'm not doing that. No way. Dad, what are you doing? That's Mom, isn't it? Why? She's dead. Why are you cutting her up? And stop, Dad. Oh, yeah. Someone will say, Uryu with his dad. Oh, man. Let me see. Are you okay with going to normal school like this? What do you mean? Well, you see, don't you think you... Wait. Oh, no, this is Ichigo. Well, you see, don't you think you'd be better off a little, smarter high school? But, I don't know. I mean, doctors' kids... Wait, fuck, I'm doing too many accents. I'm gonna get messed up with these accents if I keep doing it. Well, you see, don't you think you'd be better off at a little, smarter high school? But I don't know. I mean, doctors' kids usually want to be doctors, right? Your dad's a doctor too, man. Well, you know about that. He's just some dude with a beard. Hey, Hughes. Sorry, because if I try to do the Brooklyn accent, it's going to turn into the Christopher Walken accent, because I'm doing the Christopher Walken accent. I'm having trouble, man. Don't get out of my swamp. Get him past the legendary Dragon Smasher Donkey. South Park accents are peak. They really are. I no longer have any intention on ever becoming a doctor. What do you mean, no longer? So you were gonna? It's fine. If you don't want to say it, I guess it's fine. Yes, on that day, I decided I didn't want to become a doctor. What a random fucking thing to, like, bring in the middle of this chapter. If it's a doctor's job to cut up even his dead wife, then I don't want anything to do with it. So you've returned, Uryu Ishida. Oh, wait. So you returned, Uryu Ishida. What are you doing in my swamp? Jesus Christ, dude. Alright, we're back to this. You appear rather troubled about something. Ashvault, you yourself have rather troubled look on your face. Have you forgotten? At night, His Majesty and I exchange powers, while he slumbers, being able to see into the future means being constantly troubled. Isn't that right, Uryu Ishida? Did you see me committing treason? What makes you say that? I've said nothing of the sort. However, I have found several things which you have placed throughout Wolvelt. I've never seen those before. Oh, but I've seen the mechanisms used in these chips before. The mechanisms breaks down and scatters spirit particles in very similar ways to the ones you used in the Leiden Hand. Ogres are like onions. 4 kids had great accent selection. Drew Graham, my king. Uryu Ishida, what are you trying to accomplish by placing these throughout Wolvelt? Baseless accusations. Baseless? Then prove it to me. Prove to me that you are not a traitor. Oh, and you're going to prove that to him by attacking him? That makes a lot of sense. Ah, there we go. Uryu! Kurosaki-kun! Ichigo, but he's voiced by Scott. Alright, I got you. Kurosaki-kun! You okay? Hey, man, you okay there, Ichigo? Man, you okay, good? You okay, blood? Do y'all remember Australian Rick from Kirby? Australian Rick. Oh, he got... Nah, actually, I was about to do a Cockney accent. Uryu voicing is fucking hilarious. Oh, thank you. You're from Brooklyn. And I am a neo-Nazi. Sorry to do this, Ichigo, but you are from Brooklyn, and I am a neo-Nazi. It all seems the contributors have assembled. Hey, what's with his eyes? They're just like Yuhabaha's. How very fortunate, Uryu Ishida. Did I download this too? Okay, I did. Right now is Chad's moment. He can't lose. Not even Yuhabaha can. That's what I'm saying. Ishida just being on the enemy side, no explanation or nothing for a while, at least very lame to me. I think it would have been fine if, like, you had Uryu show up at any fucking point prior. And saying, like, oh, or they contacted him prior, you know what I mean? Fate has provided you with the important opportunity to prove yourself. Show yourself. If you are not a traitor, then kill these three immediately and prove it. I have already seen how you will answer, Uryu. You cannot escape the future. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, what are you attacking me for? Gabagoo! I'm gonna shoot you now. Oh, weave. Weave. Alright. Hey, the hell are you doing, Ishida? Fighting us just like he told you? Is that really what you wanted? Almighty gotta be one of the most grossest eye power-ups I've ever seen. Yeah, same. I don't like the way that it looks. The whole, like, 3 eyes, it just looks weird. Remember how well Robin's betrayal was done in One Piece? Good times. Type shit. They should all have charged on Jugram at that point. It was a 4v1, that's what I'm saying. Jugram is too strong with the Almighty? Probably. Hey, Ichigo, man, I save you. I save you, man. I'm useful, see? See? I am super useful, man. I saved Ichigo. He was about to fall, and I grabbed him. Holy shit, that's a lot of smoke, man. What kind of kush you have? It does not smell like that good shit, man. Ichigo really brought getting attention to a gunfight. That's what I'm saying. Robin's betrayal was emotional and had great payoff. Orihime's rejection of reality would have been perfect in rejecting the balance. That's what I'm saying. Well, rejecting the phenomena at least, right? You okay? You okay, Orihime? Yeah, that is right, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. Good thing I managed to get certain Kenshu up in time. And Kurosaki-kun is okay. You owe me... You owe me some answers, Uryu. I don't know. I don't know what accent to give Ichigo. What if I give him like a surfer accent? You owe me some answers, Ichigo. Uryu. Yeah. Like, why did you go over to the Quincy side? And why are you fighting against us? And what will it do once you hear those answers? I think your reasonings are dumb, dude. Then we're gonna have to fight. And I'm gonna have to beat some sense into you, bruh. And if you don't think they're sound, then I'm gonna have to beat you the hell out of you, no question, dude. So no matter, you're gonna beat me. What's the matter with you? It's the key to the sun. They're given to all the members of the Star Raiders. They're the metal plates, positioned all throughout Warwelt. They're called gates of the sun. And you can move between them by raising the key in front of them. Go to the right, and you'll come up some stairs leading down. Go 5 levels down. And there should be a gate of the sun on standby for the invasion of the living world. Use that, and go back to the material world. All of you. A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle voice, maybe for Ichigo or Stitch. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a surfer voice. You gave him the voice of the fish from SpongeBob. That dude was drowning. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad you caught the reference. Check out. It's almost high time. Yo. Wait, fuck. I can't do the voice right now because my throat's still fucked. I'm actually having a harder time following along with these accents. Same. I will remain and crash the war belt into the ground. War belt is held together by spirit particles. But if I activate the chip I placed throughout the war belt, it will almost certainly break up. What are you saying, Ishida? Don't be stupid. I thought you might say that, which is why I came here without saying anything. You don't have to do that, bro. All we've got to do is take out Yukabaka. We just got to show him some love, man. You can't. There isn't a way to defeat him. So why do you gotta do it then? I'm the only one who can. The disruption chip is made from sunray gloves, which I've inherited from my sensei. Only my Reiatsu can activate them. I've given you a lot of thoughts. I've given a lot of thoughts to this. There is no other way. Now that you understand, leave before Hashvault figures out. You just don't understand, eh? Before I go, just when would be that? I told you before. I have already seen how you will answer Uri Ishida. Please give Chad an R-long Schwarzenegger voice. Dude, that's gonna take me a while. Dude, I can't fuck up my voice like that. At least not right now. That would be a good voice for Orihime. My Life as a Teenage Robot was a fun cartoon. That was a fun cartoon. Tiff? What does Tiff sound like? Oh, I can't do Tiff's voice right now. Before he figures out, bro, he has the almighty. That's what I'm saying. Bleach, the best unintentional comedy. That's what I'm saying, man. Kurosaki, I'll hold him off. Get the gate of the sun quickly. Damn it, Ishida. What are you up to? I don't know, man, but I'm gonna just listen to you. Hurry up! Go now, and you can still make it. Didn't you hear me? Dude, you know what? I'm gonna make it like 5 more chapters, and I think I'm done. I'm just gonna read the last 20 tomorrow. Actually, El Tigre would have been the perfect voice for Chad. Yeah, it would have. Remember on Saturday when I was talking about how, like, my voice was fucked up? How, like, I felt like this, like, massive... Oh, yeah, no, stereotypical pompous British girl, but I'd have to, like, listen to it for a while before I'm able to, like, properly copy it. I haven't listened to her accent in a minute. I have an idea of it in my head, but I don't think I could replicate it. So, last Saturday when I did, like, the stream, and I said, like, I had, like, this, like, really, like, choked up feeling. Apparently, like, just one of my glands had, like, an inflated lymph node, and so I've had to, like, jam my finger up my throat in order to, like, drain it. It was hurting. It was hurting yesterday quite a bit. Not enough to where, like, I was, like, in actual pain, but it was, like, definitely discomforting. It was, like, maybe, like, a 3 or a 4. And so, talking with, like, these accents actually, like, kind of fucking me up a little bit right now. Is having more fun with the accent voices than the manga? Yeah, type shit. Up your throat. That's how the throat works. I've been shoving fingers, like, yeah, up my throat, like, underneath my jaw. There's, like, a little ball that you can feel up, like, below your jaw, like, next to, like, the side of your throat. If you just, like, hook your fingers, like, your index and your middle finger, and you, like, jam it in there, you can kind of, like, drain it a little bit. No, Chad is Mexican. That's down. I guess. Shut up, IMAX. Sorry. Alright. I told you I've already seen how you will answer, and I've already destroyed the gates of the sun that connects to the living world. Now I will put to arrest Uryu Ishida before His Majesty awakens. I guess we don't have a choice. Ishida, Kurosaki, hold on before His Majesty awakens. Now I see. Yo, can I ask you guys a question that doesn't make a lot of sense to me? Before anybody goes, before anybody leaves, why did he, like, kind of just go straight into glazing Yukabaka so quickly? Like, his past doesn't really explain it all that well. It doesn't... Many people from Brazil are overvaluing Bleach. When I got to read the final arc, I laughed at the pretentiousness of the final villain with his clownish, arrogant face. Type shit. I agree. Very, very pretentious. Kurosaki, you've noticed that his eyes are the same as Yukabaka's. Yeah, what about it? He and Yukabaka, they exchange their powers even when Yukabaka is sleeping. That's right, as we speak, Yukabaka doesn't have the power of his omniscience and omnipotence. Yukabaka is at the top of the Varvel to go there, Kurosaki, so you're going to stay here then? There's no time to argue, get going. I assure you, these words will not be my last. Because reasons, I forget it's explained, or if he just brought up the cult mentality. I can't unhear Let It Go from Yukabaka's staircase scene. He respects Yukabaka's strength. That's it? So that's why he kind of, like... Is that really it? Because that wasn't really explained all that well. It was just... Like, I'm not saying that can't be the reason or, like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just, like, I didn't really feel like because of Yuhabaha's strength, you know? Because Kubo said Juha must be a Yuhabaha fanboy. Jugram has no free will when Kubo commands it in that flashback. Kubo controls destiny and fate. Not even in the slightest attempt to pursue them. Are you sure that's a good idea? Quit making me repeat myself. I see all. They will die. There is no need to pursue them. Oh. Delete? I see, but the future can be changed, right? You surprised me, Uryu Ishida. It's almost as though you are a different person. The look on your face now is rather hopeful, I see. Putting aside the issue of whether or not I am actually full of hope, the fact that you were surprised to see that means that you couldn't see me being full of hope. It seems you still have a long way to go before being all-knowing and almighty. It's pointless, MC, because I'm broken right now. It repeats again. Jugram doesn't give a darn how many Quincy's died because of Yuhabaka. I guess. Orihime. Oh? Yep, I'm fine. It's just, this makes me feel a little relieved. Yeah, how do I put it? It makes me feel like Ishida. Okay, I don't care about how he feels. I don't care about how she feels. I don't care. I'm not reading that. It's meaningless in the end. As we know. Okay, what the hell is this? Guys, Chad finally did something. He blocked an attack. Chad, I'm alright. Oh, wow. Wow, Chad did something. Now then, let's do this. Cool, I guess. He's an over-glorified bodyguard. Turn to sand. Ganju, where have you been? What do you mean, where have I been? You're the ones who left me behind. I got lost and we got separated, but my plan was to show up right after at the perfect moment. A group of stone statues is a one-of-a-lifetime opportunity, and now my Seppa can really show its bite. Hey, listen to me. I am listening. Really? Give me some kind of a reaction. Do you like the little jobs, Ganju? Ichigo is looking at the road in front of him. That's just how he is. Our job is to clear out the castle and make a path for his return. Wow! Man! This is so cool, guys! Chad, for the first time in 661 chapters, is finally going to have a real fight. I can't believe I don't even take one step out to get out of the way. Yeah. And I still didn't die. I can't believe I don't even take one step to get out of the way, and I still can't die. I can feel it. I have this gut feeling that death is such a long way off for me. If immunity is the ultimate way to keep death at bay, then why do I suppose I have my immunity to thank for this? What do you think, Yoruichi Shihoing? How did she even get in this state in the first place? Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking to yourself, so I wasn't paying attention. More like you couldn't listen. I attacked you with spirit particle, oxygen, and nitrogen hybrid gift ball. So you've got your hands full to be listening to a pointless monologue, right? I wonder what it's like to still be alive in such a condition. So that means he has to consume oxygen and nitrogen. Cool. What about you? I'm honestly wondering what it's like to toy so much with the lethal dosages. You just keep hovering between life and death. You've got it all wrong. I'm working my ass off here. If you were anyone else, you'd have died a long time ago. How about quit ignoring the fact that you're a beast and knock it off with your half-assing bullshit? It's a real downer. Yushiro won't last much longer as he is, but I don't have the strength to heal him in my current condition. I have to just give up. I don't know what kind of schemes you're cooking up, but if you can't react to me until I'm this close, then you're damn close to death. No matter what you do, I'm pretty sure I can still strike. Don't you think that's pretty lethal? Yoruichi Shihoing? Indeed. This is indeed a lethal wedgie. Ow, my chin. I came all the way here to help you. Why did you kick me? What do you think? Why did you think I wouldn't kick you? Quit staring at my ass and look at me. Sorry, you were right. Wedgie was a somewhat crass way to put it. That's not why I kicked you. And don't touch my ass while you're apologizing. Urahara Kisuke. Here comes another thorn in my side. Oh, you know of me? I'm flattered. Know of you. You probably aren't aware of this, but you redeem a special military asset by His Majesty. I'm not sure if I should be held in such high esteem. I mean, I'm honored. But you're overestimating me. Isn't that right, Yoruichi? True. What the hell? Just do. How is Yorichi showing able to move? Did he disable my death dealing? How? Or rather, it's just as I've heard. The 5 special military assets were chosen because they were indeterminables. Latent abilities, combat prowess, wisdom, Reiatsu, and Kisuke resourcefulness. No matter how devious your plans, he always outwits you. His schemes are always fluid and flexible. Damn it all, why do I have to get all the tough ones? I think you really like. I really think you really like Jugram, and I love that for you. I love that you can feel that way for any character in Bleach 6. It causes inflammation with characters. What are you talking about? Ichigo must have blinked. Jesus, Kubo must have developed love for femboys this arc. Yeah. Asking powers would be pretty useful in making people immune to addiction in the pharmacy industry. That's what I'm saying. He could have made it he could make a very big killing. Chad is so weak, he only fights NPCs because if he picks a fight with any truly strong character, he'll turn into Krillin by exploding himself. I don't know if Krillin's ever blown himself up. I think you mean, what's his face? The little short fucker. No one tell me. I got it. Tien Shinhan. Chaozu, that's his name. He's a grade A certified gooner. That's what I'm saying. Man, Kubo could have added so much exposition in this big ass panel, and he decided to throw in Yoruichi's big ass cheeks. Is jaking it to the background? Alright. What did you inject into my ass? The secret. It's probably something on the lines of an immunity booster shot that made while you were hiding somewhere and listening. You know, I've always wondered this about Kisuke Urahara. How does he make all of these, like, immunities and all of this stuff without, like, any laboratory and anything near him? Like, he just makes all of this stuff because he can, and he just has it ready. Like, how does he devise any of this stuff? Does he just, like, make it out of nowhere? Excellent, Yoruichi-san. You figured things out so quickly. I made it very quickly, so its effects won't last long though. About how long? I'd say 5 minutes. That's good enough for me. Shunko Raijin Senkei. Please wait just a minute, Yoruichi-san. What is it? What do you want? Let's try that, you know? No way. Such a quick answer. At least allow me to explain or negotiate with you a little bit. You think I'm going to transform into that disgusting half-assed form again? I see. That's a shame. Reluctant though I am. I have no choice but to... Shing! Damn it, I guess I missed too. You know, it's great that you can move and go nuts. But I slammed you with a poison ball when you were at 100%. No matter how much you recovered, don't think it's kind of impossible for you to win in your current state. Yoruichi-san, once I flip this page, you'll be transformed. What just happened? Alright, we're 3 chapters off from me turning this off. Because science, don't question it. It's funny thinking that the DBZ would easily defeat all of the Stern Raiders and Gotei 13 with ease. Type shit. What the hell's with that getup? The hell? Don't ignore me. Shunko Raiju Senkei. Shunryu Kokubyo Senki. Yeah. Here in Brazil, people are obsessed with the women from Bleach. I can believe that, Leonardo. By the way, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing good, Leonardo. What's it? That's what it's called. Don't give me that. Why are you the one answering me? Is it because she doesn't understand spoken language anymore? So she jumps up into the air, attacks, boom. You gotta be kidding me. Shing, damage, go. How the hell am I supposed to be immune to Reiatsu already? The Shinigami's Reiatsu can't change in the middle of a fight. What the hell's going on? It's her mood. People often say cats are moody, right? When Yoruichi's in Kokubyo Senki, that shows up in her Reiatsu. See, she's not coming after you right now because that's what her mood dictates. Yoruichi's pretty moody as it is, but when she's in that form, she's even more capricious. And that directly affects her Reiatsu, which also becomes more capricious. It's like Reiatsu of a completely different person. You know how influenza spreads every year, right? Despite not being a new strain, slight antigenic alterations enable the strain from the previous year to spread. It's kind of like your body can make as many antibodies as you want, but one small change and you're back to zero. Of course, the speed at which your immunity, you acquire immunity is probably much faster much faster than that. Even if you do get hit by an attack, you reflexively analyze the Reiatsu and develop an immunity at a terrifying speed. It's just 1 minute. You can most likely render any attack ineffective, but not even you can match the speed. Not against Yoruichi's spiritual pressure when she's in her Kokushibyo form or whatever the fuck it's called. It changes 48 times per second. Which, mind you, is not really all that fast, and this entire fight is happening. You know, she's supposed to be, like, faster than light, yet all of this happens in about 5 minutes worth of time, since it's stated that, like, the effects are already going off. The panel of Yoruichi's Shakes is the best panel in the entirety of Bleach, and if you think otherwise, you're biased. I do think otherwise. I don't think it's the best panel in Bleach. Haha, there we go. And this was just... Urahara's like, yo, I really took this chicken, and we really lived for, like over 100 years together and all this stuff, and I'm finally getting licked by her. Totally worth it. Goodness, I'm supposed to do... I suppose this form does have its weakness. Only I can control you, and you can only go back to the form when you feel like it. Well, I suppose I don't really mind it, though, since it's cute in its own special way. Oh, that's right. It's been 5 minutes. You've gooned to this panel. I saw it! Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I saw that shit. I saw the fuck out of that shit, Six. You're not slick. Fucker knew what he was doing. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we saw that. I saw that too. You gooned to this panel, Six. That's crazy. So you're telling me. Where the fuck is it? Okay. 5 minutes. So from this point forward, 5 minutes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So in 20 pages, 5 minutes passed. You can't speak for me because I wouldn't read this with a one hand. I'm not really all that attracted to Yoruichi. We got femboys more than Yoruichi poses and cat girls. Kubo really is in his bag this art. Really was the best writer in fiction, not gonna lie. He's a good artist at least. What is this? The gift ball deluxe? The biggest poison ball I can make? Oops, you weren't talking about that. You were more curious about this form. It's called Hashane. Pretty lame name, right? Okay. Next chapter. Oh, God. A Reiatsu that changes 48 times per second. To put it in a different way, 1 second you get hit with all 48 patterns. Put yet another way, if I engage my Volständig and take 1 full second of her attacks, I get a complete infection of all 48 varieties. After that, all I need is time to analyze and acquire the immunity. You may have something there that alters Reiatsu even further, but it's useless. Out of the goodness of my heart... This was just not necessary. Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm going to save you the wasted effort by explaining my Volständig's ability. Volständig Hashane adapts to alterations in poisons. No matter how much the surface layer changes, as long as the base remains the same, I can alter my immunity and instantly render the poison ineffective. I guess that's a convoluted way to put it, but you get it right. From now on, no matter how much you change your Reiatsu, you won't be able to scratch me. What a convenient ass fucking ability to fucking counter Yoruichi's 48 changes per second. And also, 48 changes a second is kind of ass if you only have 48 different strands in a single attack. Because that would mean that there's 48 changes there's only 48 changes total then. Yeah, they drag on a lot. Bleach characters are allergic to not telling characters how your ability works. That's what I'm saying. Fair. Same can be said for many other series. Time just kind of moves like normal no matter what. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's actually kind of fair. Yeah, but that doesn't that mean that like the characters aren't really moving at like high speeds, like as like high speeds as people would assume? Because like if like out of half those panels, Yoruichi, whatever. I guess this is why you probably 1,000 changes a second would be better. Yeah. Not even that. It should be constantly fluctuating. It should be constantly fluctuated changes within those 48. It may be 48 changes in a second, but within the 500 seconds that she's powered up, or within whatever amount of seconds that she's powered up, 300. It actually should be 300 seconds, not 500. And within like the 300 seconds that it would be powered up, it's like, what is 48 times 300? Let me look that up real quick. Where's my calculator? 48 times 300. So, ideally, this is what I thought it would have been, right? This is what I thought it would have been, right? 14,400 changes in a Reiatsu. But no, it's just 48 changes total. It's just, they all happened within a single second. That's fucking stupid. That's fucking terrible. So what are you going to do, Kisuke Urahara? You taking any other way options? You're all out of options. You're all out of ideas. No need to be startled, and just in case, I've already marked a break, a territory. I don't like to use tough-sounding words. People who use big, tough-sounding words don't seem like they're in control. I want to be an in-control kind of guy. Even so, I'm going to say this. It's absolutely impossible for you to escape from this gift break. Okay? Best faith reading has the power up decrease the time frame for Kisuke's medicine to wear off. Kisuke's medicine to wear off. Nothing stated suggests that, but that's my best guess. I don't know, man. Mangaka don't use calculators, I guess. In Demon Slayer, the Hashiras consumed like 700 poisons, the time substances to demons to counter the Demon Doma, who adapts very quickly to her poisons. I forget her name a lot. Askin only becomes immune to reishi-based things. Yes, that includes elements that he's talking about, such as oxygen, since it's reishi-based, I guess. You want to prevent us from escaping that badly, huh? Well, we're enemies. Why do you even ask? It's not that, forgive me for saying this, but you just don't appear to be acting out of sense or loyalty. That's pretty rude. I'd like to think I'm at least twice as loyal as a Pomeranian, but you're not wrong. I definitely am not all there it is to it. I am very interested in His Majesty. It may sound... Does that make it sound like I'm putting myself above him? Because, of course, I would never do that. The material world, the Quaco Mundo, and the Soul Society. Is there anyone other than His Majesty who is trying to destroy those three worlds and create something else? For instance, if we lost our chance with His Majesty here, do you think someone else like him would just come along later? Or Harakisuke, you're a smart man. You have the face of someone who's seen all the world has to offer. Don't you think you want to see that? Think you want to see what His Majesty will create after he destroys these three worlds? That's okay. Yeah. You know how long characters will explain their powers of the fight? Could have happened twice. Yeah, that's a lot of chapters that could have been spent just having, fight scenes. You can still move with that kind of quickness. Okay. What's impressive is for being inside this gift break, I don't think I'd want to. The answer to my question is too bad. And here I thought you'd be with me on that one. Had it been Captain Kurotsuchi, he may have said something. He said like he'd like to see something new, Kurotsuchi, but even so, he wouldn't mean something of Yuhabaka's creation. If you're talking about creating something no one has ever made before with their own hands, that's what it means to be a scientist. I see. Can't say I don't like your answer, but still I prefer to see what His Majesty will do. Gift ring. Another reference to Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac, as Kubo likes to say. As Kubo likes that story. He sends a ring, it vanishes. Clue. Gift ring is for the ones who are ridiculously strong. My death dealing just doesn't work like that, like it should. Its effect involves concentrating my death dealing ability into a single point and insta-killing the area where I give my opponents an enemy a piercing with pinpoint accuracy. I'm sorry, but you're too damn strong. Lowering your LD doesn't work. And wiping out your resources doesn't work, so that leaves me to killing you the old-fashioned way by destroying your vital organs. You leave me no choice. Bankai, Kanon, Biraki, Benihime, Aratame. Yeah. Okay, so I think this probably ends next chapter. Damn, you're really out for blood, aren't you? You leave me no choice. Bankai, yeah, sure. So Eskin almost bored as King Jaku? I guess so. You can probably argue he's like King Jaku, where he just does it because he's bored. He wants to see something interesting. Woo-wee, what the hell is that? Bankai? Nope, wasn't there anything about your Bankai, Majesty? This is the first time I used it in front of anyone here. I see, that explains it. So, I'm just gonna ask, what does it do? Asking me, that's what it is? I can't tell you. I suppose you got a point, but it's kind of scary facing an uninformed, I understand, but even if I don't tell you, you'll figure it out soon enough. What the hell? What is this? You've got good composure. Most people would have been so shocked they'd cut off their own arm. But as you notice, my Bankai has an area of effect. As just now, I'm just not brave enough to cut off my own arm. What the? You probably picked up on this from my attack just now. What the hell's he doing? Kanon ki berihime. Yeah. Is to remake anything she comes in contact with. Okay. So he just got blitzed. Okay. So slash. What? You can see, but I insta-killed your eyes. You can indeed, because I remade them. I can indeed, because I remade them. Slashes his arm, then he grabs the blade. No way. Now it's turned into one of those powers versus powers battles. I hate so much. See? So when hacks doesn't work, you kind of have to just outpower them. I'm here, I was thinking I just drag you into my field and do things at my own pace, and then shit starts heading south. You are one bad dude, Kisuke Urahara, but no matter how bad you are, you're not perfect, and you haven't forgotten, have you? The Gift Ball Deluxe is a poisonous fortress from which there is no escape. There is only one reason you're able to breathe in here, is because I'm keeping it that way. Hey, from now on, you're not going to further increase the Gift Ball Deluxe's concentration, are you? It's taking everything I have as it is to crawl around the ground like this. Yeah, keep talking. I know what's up. Your Bankai is dangerous even when it's just crawling around on the ground. Well, I figured things turn out nicely. Good job. However, it's already too late. Something you said caught my attention. What? It was impossible to escape the Gift Ball Deluxe. From the Gift Ball Deluxe, you never said anything about being able to get inside. So to test it out, I whipped up a path inside the ball from the outside. Thank you for your help, Grimjow. So this was something I was thinking about earlier. This was probably something I was thinking about earlier when I was, just considering... Actually, not earlier, yesterday. When I was talking about... I'm not really going to crash out over this, but I'm going to talk about, just how stupid this ending was to this fight for me, or at least how much of a letdown it was, because... Kisuke Urahara is one of the smartest characters, is the smartest character in all of One Piece. He's top of the verse in terms of just raw intelligence. He's smarter than Aizen, he's smarter than Kurotsuchi. The guy is constantly creating these mini tools and these many things aside, left and right, up and down throughout the entire context of the story, always showing his preparedness for an opponent, right? So one of the things that frustrates me about this fight is that when you see someone like Mayuri Kurotsuchi, right? Let's talk about Mayuri Kurotsuchi for a second, right? Kurotsuchi. When talking about Mayuri Kurotsuchi Bleach, he's a character that, while I don't respect the way that he treats Nemu, I've always thought that it was interesting. Oh, smartest character in One Piece. My fault. Smartest character in Bleach. Sorry, I for whatever reason started thinking about One Piece. So when I think about a character like Kurotsuchi and I think about his fights, I think, Kurotsuchi actually does have very interesting fights. I think that nobody here would disagree with me when I say that Kurotsuchi has some of the more interesting fights in the series, right? Like when he fights Zael Laporo, the way that he defeats Zael is by introducing him to a superhuman serum that essentially makes it so that all of his senses are shot up to such an extent that everything around him and everyone around him essentially moves at slow pace, even though it's not actually making him faster or stronger, right? All of his senses have simply been increased to the point where even trying to move his hand will take him 1,000 years inside of his own mind, even though, things are happening at the moment, right? He can't really understand what people say, he can't understand what people do, so on and so forth. The same thing happens later on when he fights Pernita, where Pernita eats Nemu, where he shows a bunch of different ways of defeating Pernita or whatever, but Pernita just continues to evolve. So then it eats Nemu, and because it ate Nemu, Kurotsuchi ripped out her brain, and by removing the cerebellum, Pernita would gain the properties of Nemu's cells, which are constantly regenerating ad nauseum until he just straight up exploded, right? So you would think that the first time we see Kisuke Urahara, and the first time fight for real, and you think that the first time we see Kisuke Urahara fight using his Bankai, that he would have some insane 5-head play or 5-head move in order to defeat his opponent, right? But this is the result of it. Kisuke Urahara simply had no means by which he could defeat Askin, so he simply had Grimjow. He simply paved the way for Grimjow to then come to him from behind. He just yaps and does some science bullshit and wins. Here's the thing, Six. I agree with you. I agree with you. All he does is some science bullshit and then he wins, right? He goes through a long explanation. He completely invalidates the entire argument that Bleach fans have, where it's like, where like Kubo likes to show, not tell, because he literally only tells and doesn't really show. He literally just tells you, right? But the thing that pisses me off about this is that when you consider the smartest character in the verse, I mean, even Aizen, right? Aizen did everything that he did. Aizen did everything that he did. He killed Central 46. He set up a little keto barrier behind his neck so that he couldn't be caught off guard from behind. He went into the fake Kurakara town, already having his Shikai released. You know, these are things that you can see. These are things that you can see within the context of the story that are like, okay, these characters are fighting with like a high level of intelligence. But when it comes to Kisuke Urahara, you would expect that from the smartest character in the fucking story, you would expect, hey man, I can't wait to see what 5-head, 10,000 IQ move Kisuke Urahara is going to pull out. And then his big move was just make a path for somebody else to kill the dude. That was it. Grimjow Jaggerjack, the 6th Espada, some people's favorite Espada, comes in the very end of the series, already transformed, and the most he does, in terms of fighting the Stern Ritter, is simply ripping a guy's heart out, and that was it. Because the series explained it earlier. His eyes were destroyed and blah, 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 and whatever. Hey, guys, it's chapter 6. I'm gonna leave it here. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm kind of over Bleach. I don't really care to talk about it anymore, at least for the rest of the night. It's 7 p.m. my time. I think I'm good. Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you. That was mid as fuck. We got 20 chapters to go through. We'll do that tomorrow. If you guys want to join me, I'll be online earlier. Worst read-through, that is definitely an opinion of all time. That you definitely had an opinion, and I can respect that. If you didn't like my read-through, that's completely fine. Other people here seem to disagree, though. People seem to enjoy it. You added the Q&As from yesterday? Nice. There's new Q&As from yesterday? Jesus Christ. Alright, I'll check those out tomorrow after I finish reading. I have not read I've read portions of Toriko. I've not read the entirety of it. We'll leave it at that. Have a good day, guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Drink some water, brush your teeth, treat people with kindness. You guys already know the deal. Good night. Hey, see? Somebody was entertained. One Smart was also entertained, see? It's a matter of perspective. Some people like it, some people don't. It's okay. Thank you, guys.